Boom. And welcome everybody. Today we have a special guest. Is a person from Canada. Everybody knows him. He's a very special person for the electro community. He makes big things. He always creating something new for us. Now he's creating a SuperSport machine for all of us. I think we're going to have lots of questions. I know that the people ask me that I would like to. I have to make some questions to Alex because there's some things we cannot see in the photos, and Alex can help us maybe a little more. First of all, thank you for coming. That is amazing.
Thank you, Nelson. You are the very special person. You're the one hosting this and doing this week after week, after month after month. It's a great initiative.
No,
I'm very happy to be here.
Yeah, I'm very happy that you accept my invitation. And we're going to start like always. I know that you speak all the time. It's not the first time you speak that, but for the guys in Europe, on the people who don't know you, how everything started for you, just make a
brief statement for the ones who've heard it 10,000 times now. So I was a intellectual property patent lawyer for 12 years, and in 2017 I decided to make a electric skateboard because when I was looking on the market, I was looking to go to the firm in a skateboard. That was what I wanted to do at first because I had kids and I used to kite surf and do a lot of extreme sports and adventure sports, and I couldn't do it anymore because, well, less. Now I'm starting to do it again, but in that time I less. So I wanted to go. I wanted to go to the firm with an e-board, and at that time I never seen one in Montreal. Maybe one. Like early, the Shopify founder. The founder of Shopify was one of the very early boosted board adopters. He bought like the beta, and he was the only one I knew that had one. And I saw him, and it looked pretty cool. And so it kind of started floating in my mind, and that was probably like in 2015. I can't remember exactly when. It was a long time ago. Anyways,
not so long time ago, but it's
it's crazy, right? It's like yesterday, but it feels like decades ago. But it's not so long ago. I mean, it's like not even 5 years ago, right? That's crazy. It just made me realize. Anyways, so in 2017, I was looking to buy a board, and in Montreal, the streets are terrible, right? So we wanted to have bigger tires, and the only option that you had back then was Evolve, the big company that was available. And then I started doing some research, and they had some disconnect issues back then. I don't know, maybe still today, who knows? But back then, and I didn't want to take that risk. I didn't want to. It was a little jab, just a little jab.
Yeah, okay. Let's the fun is very important. Okay, let's continue.
Of course. I mean, if we're not having fun, what are we doing? Building electric ski. I mean, come on.
This year is for us, for riders, for having fun. If somebody don't accept it as that they don't deserve to be in our communities.
Nelson,
sometimes you have to tell everything.
If someone is not happy with what we're saying here,
do you see him here in my channel? Yeah, of course.
Yes, yeah. No, I mean, so anyways, I was looking at Evolve, and then I didn't want to take that risk. That's the bottom line. I mean, that made me think that I got angry actually at that company. Once I started looking into it, that they knew about a problem, and in my mind, they weren't fixing it quick enough, and they weren't being forthright about it, and you kind of had to go on forums to kind of learn about it, and they were always like denying it, and I was like, what the fuck is this, So So at that point, I was like, all right, I'm not dishing out $3,000 because they're expensive too in Canada. They're super expensive. I'm not dishing out some money to do that. So I'm going to build my own. And then I found this community and then built a Trampa, and with Charles and GF.
You can
Charles,
say you can
yeah,
say that it's a skate. A skate.
Electric skateboard builders forum.
Builders, yes.
Yes, builders forum. And so
we can say everything here, my friend. If
Perfect.
they give me a
truck, no, I'm not. Oh yeah, don't worry about it. I'm really not worried.
My YouTube is free. I don't receive no money. That is free, my friend. Perfect. That is for us.
And it's my opinion. It doesn't. It's my opinion. If they're not happy, they come see me. Don't. Nelson doesn't agree with anything I said. All right. So we put that on the record.
You are a free person. We are in a
they
free.
They can go fuck themselves.
Yeah. We are in a free country, my friend. Yeah, yes, of course. You are free. Exactly. You can say everything. Okay. Is it
exactly? Anyways, so the point is that I built a Trampa, and then the Trampa was nice, but the platform was very archy and kind of made for jumping, and so at that point we improved the board, made one, and started selling the Prototipo in 2018, and I guess people liked it, and now Alex, 2 years later we're
Alex, you started you with your brother, yes?
Yes, started with my brother. It started in 2017 and 2018, sorry, with my brother in March. So when we were selling these first kits to the DIY community, he was still there. And the moment where we had to move from our basements and actually like, all right, we need to because orders were coming in and I wasn't able to supply anymore. We had too much order. I couldn't be a lawyer and still be doing it. We needed to go full time. At that point, it was very risky. That was the riskiest decision of my life. I'm so happy I took it though. So
for all of us.
Oh my God, I'm so happy, man. I was so miserable as a lawyer. Now I'm just like I'm living a dream. I'm just trying not to fuck it up. It's really that.
And the important thing, don't damage yourself because you write very fast.
Yeah, no. Yeah. Calculated risk and don't die. Yeah,
I see what you do with your brother riding, and I see the last picture from your brother was not very nice.
Yes. No, I know. My brother is he likes attention when he's boo-boo, He's like, oh, look at me, look at my and then he posts that. I'm like, why the I mean
let him be himself, my friend. That is good.
I was like
the important thing, you are good one with another and you enjoy riding the two together.
I do. Oh yes, yeah. I love riding with him. There's nobody who rides like him. Very few. There's Tim Sender Skates is a very good rider. He
was here.
Rider. I know. I love Tim. Tim is a treasure. Yeah,
he's a very special person. He invited me
and a few other guys in the States who are quite crazy too, that I had a lot of fun before the pandemic riding with, and I can't wait to ride with them again. But I don't take risks except when I'm with those guys and with my brother. But we ride very at night.
You are a sportsman. You cannot say that because you are a sportsman. You have a background. You before you start the electric, you have the background. I see. I read lots of things about you because every time I make the interviews, I want to know before I know you too. Because if
I love these boards, man. Yeah, nobody loves these boards more than me. I just built them for me. To be honest, like the SuperSport is just like my dream board, and it's like, oh well, people want to buy it. That's crazy.
Yeah, but you have to think like this. For all of us, all of the guys out there. Alex knows that I'm a big fan. I have my Lacroix, and always Alex take care.
I appreciate it. It's like you're a chef, right? So you do food that you would want to eat. It's the same thing. We do the same thing, you and I. I'm just bad at food. I'm good at skateboards.
Don't do it. Believe it. If you don't love what you're doing, leave it. That's why I think you do the right thing and change it. And my friend, when you start in the beginning, that was like for you and your brother, because I read from other interviews, and then when that changed the game and you see that, okay, that is not just for me and my brother, that is a big company, maybe I can create something very special for.
It's not big, it's still small, Nelson. It's still small. It works, it works. But we're still small. I mean, we're big in this little market, but it's a small company. Like I feel very lucky that it works, and I'm doing baby steps, and as you see through the years, like the plan is the fruit is starting to bloom now.
Yeah, but Alex, is always like this. You see lots of companies closing the doors. Don't you think that is the best way to do it, like you are doing now, doing step by step, then not to create?
I think so.
You have. I don't know how many employers you're going to have, and then in end you have to close your doors. Your name is going to be not clean. I think that is not the right way. The right way, I think, is like you. Better for you to do a good product, a product that everybody is going to be very happy, and that you start to make in big quantities, like China, and then the quality is down. Then your name is going to be like everybody's talking about. I think you're going in a right. That's why I tell the big companies, they don't need to have 200 or 1,000 employers. They that maybe three or four persons, maybe they make the job better, and you can control it because you don't lose the control about your machines. Because everything you bring out is going to be different. But we talk about that, how you started, then you make this beautiful prototype. This is a prototype till today is a big question, because I see last time was a question from Tom that he asked what is the best board from all the guys, and I see that the guys are crazy by the prototype. He's going to be in the future something close to a prototype.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. That's where we're going now.
Because I see
for the next ones. I don't see. So the Porsche 911 Turbo S.
Yes,
we did it now. We have it.
Yeah.
I'm not. I mean, this is it for me. This is it. You when you try, Nelson, you can get seriously hurt on a 12S Lone Star, right? Well, you can get seriously hurt on a Lone Star SuperSport. It is a machine that commands respect and that you should treat.
And that's what you write in your website when the people want to buy it.
Yes, that is what I advocate always. It's a very exhilarating machine, but things can go wrong very quickly. As we've all known, for people who ride a lot, who've taken falls, I've taken so many falls. Now I pad up all the time. You too, exactly. And then you ride a little differently afterward. And to go back to the level that you were riding right before you get hurt, it takes a lot of time. And when you get back there, which is where I am now, you treat it with the utmost respect, because I don't think I can take many big falls anymore. I don't want to fall anymore. So when I do take some risks and I do go at those speeds, I assure that my environment is as controlled as it can be. I'm not doing it, and I'm not doing it in traffic. When there's people around, I carve, and I go slow. And then when I choose to go fast, it's because I'm alone and I can slide, and I'm very low on the board, and like everything hurts, like my glute, it burns, my muscles are burning because it's such an exercise. That is how I treat it. I don't go standing up like a straight going, full throttle. I never do that. Never. I see some people, it's like, oh my God, it scares me so much. It's like, you're not focusing, man. You're going way too fast for how out-focused you are. So, hey, cheers. Ride with OKP, man. I've never met that guy, but I have a lot of respect for Cedric. He was unique. He has a kid now. He knows. He missed the beginning when I was talking about my kids, but he has a kid now, and he's not doing any parts anymore. I know exactly what.
but he's enjoying every day on the roads of Paris.
Exactly. That's the important thing. That's why I respect.
Rider.
He's like, he can't do it anymore because he has his kids. And when he wants to ride, he wants to ride. He doesn't want to be designing. I 100% support that. So
yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry, I'm interrupting.
Yeah, I just want to tell to everybody is here to see Alex. Alex is a very special person for our community. You see how easy it is to speak with Alex. All the time I was with Alex together, and we speak or message us. It was always easy. It was not a difficult thing. And I want to ask everybody is here. And we start like Mark, like Cedric, like Thomas, like Steve, like A-Skate, FP.
I know all these guys by heart. It's crazy now. It's such I know. That's what's fun about it. Like, I know literally all these people. Wait a second. Eastgate FPV. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's the guy in out west. He bought like 2 Lone Stars, I think. One or even 3. It's like some crazy guy. Mark Hybrids. Yeah, I know Mark. Jeffrey Peralta. Is that his real name, you think? Is he from Powell? No. Thomas, of course. Carrie Judd, Brownstick. Not gonna have that. Quinn Foster. Yeah, I've seen that name. Max B from Montreal, of course. David Tielemans. Nope. Not sure I know David. Not sure. Michael Gotti. No, I think so. But he hasn't written to me, so.
Don't forget, there's lots of guys of Europe here, and they are interested in your board. We are going close to the record of people online. The last time was from Steve. Now you are the second one close, and you are in the beginning. And now we're going to continue. I think the people have questions. Guys, leave the questions for later. We're going to done in end. We're going to answer all the questions. If we don't,
I'm sure. Yeah, that's the thing. I'm sure everything would just be answered normally. And then if at the end you have. If at the end you have still some questions, then yeah. But I'm sure we're gonna talk about everything because you're. I never talked to you before, but you're very good at this. You're like the Joe Rogan of Eastgate. Yeah. It's very easy. But you're a chef, right? You're probably a very good chef if you know how to talk to you. I love chefs, man.
I tell you before.
Love restaurants.
I tell you before, if you come here one time, you know what is going to happen.
Oh, I know. Oh, it's going to be like a 3-day bender. I won't sleep for like 96 hours, most likely. Yeah, I know those.
We take care of you.
It's going to be amazing.
First of all, yeah. First of all, I just want to say to everybody, guys, if you want to see the link from Alex, because I think there is lots of persons don't know, but there is one thing. We have the Lacroix International in Canada, but you have the Lacroix in Europe. Lots of persons I know they don't know it. Keeps the Lacroix. Is official. Everything we show here is from Alex.
Yeah, it's all official. Yeah.
Then for the guys who don't know, you can go there and speak. He's a very fantastic person. He's George, I think, the name from him, or the guy from
Europe.
Yeah, from Europe.
No, it's like
Gregor.
Yes, Gregor Pajnik. I hope I don't mess up his name.
Then you have his Instagram. Then you have his Facebook, and we're not going to talk about the Facebook groups because now is a lots of groups there. But the official is the Lacroix owners group.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, and then you have some videos you're going to show, and we're going to talk about some riders that Alex bring to his company. One of them is Moja. He's maybe for me one of the fantastic riders that keeps in the world. I have the pleasure of riding with him, and he's one of the best. I haven't
yet. I can't wait. This pandemic. Yeah, I was supposed to go last summer, but maybe this summer, hopefully. If not 2022, yeah.
I don't think this year because everything is It's Electric is closed. They're not going to do it no more. All the stuff.
I don't want to talk about it. Let's not mention Corona.
We're going to positive things. So Alex, when you came to the Lone Star, how did you came to this idea like a big battery to come? Because that was like.
You want the truth? Okay, I'm ready to tell you the truth. 2 years later. Is it 2 years? Almost 2 years. All right.
Yes.
It's all right. So let me explain to you something. So there was this at that time. at that time we were in 2018. In December of 2018, so we were selling the prototipo very well, but the prototipo was it was not. I had no idea we would make so many. It's a prototype. We weren't supposed to make so many, and so it wasn't. Well, we didn't have any. I didn't have any experience, and my brother and I, when we were designing it, we didn't have any supply chain experience. We didn't know how tough it would be to assemble. So it wasn't difficult to assemble, but you needed to have little, like, to be very delicate, because you can mess it up 1,000 times and then just ruin the deck or ruin the enclosure or ruin this or ruin that. They were difficult to assemble because you needed to be very good with your hands, so it was difficult to scale. So when it started picking up, I started thinking about everything I wanted to change to make assembly quicker and more efficient. So that's when immediately I started working on what is today Nazare Lone Star Jaws, 12S boards. And so first of all, change the insert. We had little 3M screws that they would break, and it was just like, so I would assemble boards, Nelson, all right, and it was like Friday. So back then, I was making them like in my basement. And then, so I was doing final assembly in my basement. GF was assembling all the electronics in his basement, like 30 minutes away from me. So I would go with the E-tray and the back trucks in his house, and then we would assemble the electronics. Then I would go back to my house, put it in the car, like 4 of them, trying not to scratch anything, and then going back to my car, and then going back to my house. Then I would do final assembly. So at that point, if I was doing like 5 boards a week to like 7 boards a week, I was working like 80 hours. I was like completely burnt out. Like I couldn't completely, yeah. And so I knew that, like, okay, like this is good start for a business, but like we can't scale this, And then so I did. Sorry, I wanted to. So at the end, Friday night, all right, Friday PM, DHL is coming to pick up all the boxes. They're all in my basement. They're coming. I have like 30 minutes to like close this board. So I was closing, and at the end, it was always the same thing. The last freaking screw, the head would pop off, and I broke it. And that was like, so I needed to take all the enclosure off and then finicky with it. And I was just stressed out, because I wanted to get those boards out, and I didn't, some clients I was like, no, it's leaving on Friday. And when I say, it's leaving, it needs to leave. Like, I don't feel good and that was really important. It's still very important today when we give delays and we say something, we do it, So long story short, started working on Nazare Lone Star Jaws very early in the game. And then in December, while we were doing that, there was this event in New York, which was called, it was a very long range. I can't remember what it was, but it was a very long range race, like 60 miles. And some 250-pound guy took the prototipo on this 60-mile, 24 like nonstop race, and it was cold, and he was heavy, like not heavy, but heavy, for a 10S 5P battery, and like the charging took forever, and it was like, at that point we had the Nazare, and when that guy complained about like his experience over the whole thing, I said, well, okay, obviously, like, we need like a longer range board. And as a joke, I said, while we were designing the Nazare, why won't we double the battery and see? And then it was like, that's crazy, man. Like, who's going to buy that? And like, it's going to be so heavy. And then it's like, we started crunching numbers, and then it's like, well, how much would it cost? I was like, I don't know. Let's try to make it. Let's figure out. And then it's like, maybe people will pay $4,000 for it. Maybe. We didn't know. I had no fucking clue. I was like, okay, maybe we'll sell like 2. And like it'll, it's all the same thing. It's just another enclosure. So we decided to make it. And it was basically to like go to that event where it was like, well, we need a faster charger. Like a fast charger is not 4 amps. Like, no, that's what we use the same charger as Evolve. And they was like ultra fast, mega fast charger. So it was like, okay, I guess that's fast. But it wasn't really fast. It took a few hours to charge a small battery. So then we bumped it up to 12 amps. I was like, we need 12 amps. And it was like, 12 amps, we need. I'm like, man, it needs to be quick, you know?
You have finished your involvement. Sorry.
Yeah. I'm done. That was the last uppercut. I'm done. I'm done talking about it. I'm done. Unless you force me.
Enjoy it.
How they off our prototypical design.
Leave it. You can enjoy it. You can tell everything you want, my friend. Here is free. Don't worry.
I just did.
Have fun. Just have fun.
All right. I'm having a lot of fun. I'm having a lot of fun. Too much, almost. I think I'm gonna regret it. I'm like, oh shit, it was taped.
No.
Like, oh, goddamn Nelson, he got it out of me.
No.
But so that's how it came about. It came about as we didn't think we were selling any. We didn't think we were going to sell any, and it's been our best seller. And now the Lone Star SuperSport is shaping up to be our best seller as well. I guess people want to go, they see that vision.
Yeah, but in the beginning, when you started to sell it, was you prepared to sell so many? Was you was not like a surprise? Oh, I was not thinking that it's going to come out, and I don't have so many
That's
boards.
A good question. Yeah, so that's a good question. So the secret, my secret, has been to not take any debt, any loans, and build everything completely organically. So that way I am always, the demand is just always a little more than I can actually, and that's how we've grown since the beginning, with a lot of periods of like, behind the scenes it's like, and like it's like, yes, everything is fine, but here, so putting pressure on all the suppliers, like, enclosures, I need more enclosures, like I need more decks, I need more everything, like tires, oh, no more tires, I don't care, let's find some anywhere, you like freaking tires. So now it's like, now I'm starting to calm down, because I don't have, for the longest time I always operated under the assumption that every sale we were making might be the last. I was not taking anything for granted. I'm still trying not to, but that's so by doing that very organically, every decision, by not having millions of dollars into the account and just always growing with the community, first of all, it forces me to be very, well, I do that naturally, but to know what my clients are saying and how they're being treated. Okay, that's very important. I'm not just like swimming in money, and it's just like, no, it's not at all. Like every sale that comes in serves to fund the business further and to grow it further. That's the first thing. Second thing, it means that we're not employing useless. Every employee that we have is like a 3-in-1. They can do three. They wear many hats. Everyone that works with Lacroix wears many hats, because if they think that they can come and work with us and only do one thing, it's like, no, we're too small for that. You're gonna have to be good at this and this and that, and I try to extract it out of people. What do you want to do? What are you good at? And then I see, okay, so you could be, I'm trying to work with everyone's strength always. Not trying to like play their weakness. If you're not good at that, don't worry about it, man. We'll get something else. We'll get somebody else to do it, and so that everyone has fun always coming here and just try. And I'm patching the holes where, and employing new people. So that's kind of where I've done it. So to answer your question, yes, it always forced me to like expect that we would be selling. So at that point, ordering, when I was making 4 boards a week, ordering for 30 boards was huge. It was like, well, some weeks I'm going to sell 4, some weeks I'm going to sell 2. So, okay, yeah, that kind of makes sense. Now we're ordering for hundreds of boards in advance, but that was all step by step by step by step.
But today you have a great team.
I've always had a great team, to be honest. Oh no, it's super important. Like without the team, nothing happens. Nothing happens. You know, nothing happens. I'm always working on the next project, but it wouldn't happen. So no, they're all very, very good, and they're people that I want to keep. Like for I'm working on a whole bunch of things right now, all my projects, and they're involved in all of it. So yes.
Yeah, that is very important, because if you take care of your team, sometimes if you change, you're not going to have trust in nobody.
No.
To have like
trust is number one. Trust is absolute, and I give it very quickly. Give it very quick, but you don't have two chances. You betray it.
That's like me.
I'm never going to see you again ever. Don't even don't. It's like. Bye-bye. No, you don't have two chances, because I don't have time, you know, and I'm not babysitting anyone. I trust you. I trust you. Like I trust you I give you keys to the shop. You do whatever, you know, you come in whenever you want. But and you know, I have judgment. I've worked with people a lot. I kind of have that's why it's so fun to talk to you, man. I've never talked to you, but you're a great guy. Very cool.
The important thing for me is like this, my friend. That's why Lacroix is so big. That's why your company
it's small, Nelson. It's still small. Thank you.
Let's sometimes the way we say big is we tell in a positive way, because you have to see how many people here is to see you. You have to see how you take care of your company. You have to see what happened in Lacroix owners was a big problem, and you never say nothing. And one day to another, you say, "Okay, that is enough. I have to take care of the business. This is my business. This is guys," and you change it. We don't going to talk about negative things. We're going to leave it. Everybody just speak about that, and
it's not my style. You won't get anything negative.
No. I don't want it. I just want positive things. I when you want to speak something, I'm going to laugh and I'm going to enjoy it. I respect you and you are a grown man. You know how to measure your words and what you
exactly. Well, that's the problem with you. Maybe I don't with you. You know.
No, you're going to have it, my friend, because I'm going to keep it very. I think that we need more information for the guys who want to know a little more about your board. Then the important thing,
Let's
Alex.
Go through your questions. Let's go through your questions.
No, that question is not enough. It's more questions for the guys. For me, you know that I love your I write it every day.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
It's not because I love it. I have lots of involved boards, and I have critiques. They don't accept it. That is very sad. From you, I never receive something that I speak with you, who always take care of me. And I know for the guys who have Lacroix, they always say that Alex is always there to take care of the problems. And that's for me.
I hope so. That's what I'm trying to convey to my team. And it's very important, because I can't be everywhere now, you know. I used to answer everyone, but now it's just...
But you have a team.
I need to surround myself and keep growing and do different things. So I like to go, you know, sometimes I wake up in the morning with one eye and I'm like seeing questions on Instagram and I answer them and then, you know, so sometimes I go back and I answer, and every email that we receive, usually I try to answer, although sometimes I'm very slow to answer, but it's important.
And you have a family too, my friend. You have to live.
Yes. Two kids.
Yeah,
that's very true. That is very true.
We're going to see some questions here from some guys. First of all, I see that was one question here. If you're going to make the prototype, it's going to be AT, it's going to be off-road.
Yes. Oh yeah. No, we don't. I mean, if we get a urethane kit out, it will be a conversion from an AT board. Always.
Because we know
in Montreal you can't ride you know I would it's like it's impossible. It's so the streets suck so much here. The boards would just like it's like it's not even fun. So no, I'm making it so that I could use it when I go like down to the United States and like in Maine, and the streets are gorgeous during the winter. Then I'll put the urethane kit on and like go racing a little and like have fun. But in Montreal, urethane it makes absolutely no sense. So we'll always offer different options of tires. That's where we're going now. I'm going. So some next steps will be to change the axles on the hyper trucks and put very huge moon 16-inch for very soft sand and snow. And the idea is to do the cross of Iceland.
Oh, that will be good, huh?
That
you
would be
alone?
fun,
Or
huh? Do you imagine it with the sideways helicopter?
how many
It's so
times did
silly, man.
how many
It's so
times
silly.
how many time did it take for you to make this videos for the last
Oh,
board?
that was so fun, Nelson.
Who came
I, I thought
with
I, I I thought I would die.
because
On
I
that
ask you lots
beach.
of times. I ask you lots of times, Alex, you're going to make a gear
Yeah.
drive. Alex, you're going to make
Yes.
off-road board.
Yes.
And you say
Yeah.
to me, Nelson, wait a little, you're going to see it. And I was like, Alex, and sometimes you don't answer me no more because it's always the same question.
It's because I talk too much, and then my
Yeah,
inbox, and then it's like when. It's like I don't know. I'm putting
yeah.
a lot of pressure on everyone, so I don't know. But but yeah, so I thought that first video, it was so fun, Nelson. I can't believe I was in the helicopter, sideways helicopter, screaming on top of my lungs because it was so exciting. So that helicopter is like a 911 turbo. It's 4-person only. It's an overpowered motor, and the pilot treats it like a race car. So he's like going like this in the mountains, and I was screaming so much of excitement that I thought I was going to die of euphoria. And so that's how, like, I can't believe it. That's why I feel so fortunate to be doing all of this, man. It makes no sense to be making videos like this. So that's why I'm talking about this, because the Iceland idea is silly. It's crazy, crossing Iceland on a board with 16-inch tires. Like, who does that, man? It's like, but maybe we'll do it. So that's why I'm completely. I think we're gonna do it, actually. Yeah,
Who is
yeah. That's the video. Yeah.
who's
That
the
was
right?
so fun. So the writer is, oh, go see that, man. Can I write it somewhere? Can I write in the comments? Okay, maybe you write it. Okay, I'm gonna write. It's Mason Michon, and his Instagram is insane. He is such a great photographer, and he's a pro skater,
Mm-hmm.
a pro snowboarder, sorry, from Whistler,
Okay.
and so when we landed on that island is for natives. That's how we call it. Yeah. So Mason is native, and if you're not native, you
Mm-hmm.
cannot land on that island. And it's
Yeah.
because of him that we had access there, and we went there. It was very special. We had a crazy party that night. Like, this whole chapter 1 thing. It's a good friend of mine that was the producer, Sébastien Baribeau. He's going to be doing all these chapter 1 videos, and he did a huge amount of work with very little budget. Let me tell you that we didn't have the budget for a video like that, like a helicopter and a video, like going side, like, no. And we paid, I think we barely paid for the fuel of the helicopter only, and it was like, it's crazy, Nelson. Like, this whole story is crazy because um so all the cast on this team that made the video is professional crew. And the way Seb sold this package was that, listen, we don't have any budget, but I'm going to rent the best cameras for you. So we had cameras on set that were worth $300,000. So he put all the budget that I gave him in renting very high-end video equipment, so that the geeks that he would be bringing, saying, listen, are you tired of, like, filming Big Macs in Toronto? Yeah. So I've got this friend. He has an electric board company. We're going to rent a helicopter, and we're going to go camping on an island for 3 days. And then he got everyone really excited, and they all did it for free, basically. So that's how we this thing existed, because it makes no sense, it's yeah. So I feel very fortunate, and that again is the team and being positive, and like, everyone's had so much fun. So I can't wait for the next one. But yeah, that's how we did it. Oh, and that first one in Utah, that was Eric. So that is he used to be my babysitter when I was young. The videographer, he did the music, the video. He's actually riding the board with a very expensive camera, so he knows how to ride. He's exceptional as well. He's in the team right now as well. So
is together with you now.
Yeah, we always work together. Yeah, the people that work with me, like I don't do one-offs. I want to build a relationship and kind of see how you can grow within this crazy thing that Lacroix is becoming, and like trying to extract creativity from people. That is what I love the most. When people feel very comfortable in what they're doing and very creative, that makes me very happy.
Let's talk about one thing. I know that you started with your first board, the prototype for everybody is there. You take lots of pieces from other companies, and today you are the person that you use everything. Is everything created from you? Is not anymore board from nobody, and that's the important thing. That is very, very nice, and I think we're going to talk about some things that you have here. First of all. We're going to talk about, let's see here. I don't want to. Let's talk about this fantastic tool.
Oh, wait a second. Give me a second.
Yeah, that is not. That is better. If you bring it, that is going to be better for the guys who have questions.
They are so fucking gorgeous, man. I can't believe it. Let me get some. Can you hear me? Yeah. All right.
Yes, of course.
I'm running.
No, don't worry. Don't worry. I put it like this because everybody can see it.
They're so insane, man. They're like I can't believe like this nut.
That is the group B, guys. This is
this is the group B,
and that's the other is the Le Mans.
Yeah, that's the Le Mans. The LM. So this is basically a BBS LM, right? That's the design that's been around in motorsports for years.
What materials are you using now for this?
This is all aluminum, 7075 aluminum.
How many bearings do you have to put inside?
Same bearings. Yeah, same bearings as before. Same spacer as before. This is a bolt-on, slap-on. It goes on the only thing is that it's wider. So you have and now I'm using one that's not well aligned. A second, my OCD is not good. There you go.
It's the perfect thing. That means that is for 9. That is for 9. That is for 10.
No, it will only fit 8-inch tires. So to fit 9-inch tires, the rim here would need to be higher and kind of two-step, and it made them ugly. So and difficult to machine. So these are 8-inch tire maximum. You won't be able to, and 6, 7, 8, but not bigger. The 9-inch, the diameter is a bit bigger, and you need a whole new. So it was not.
For everybody is going to see later. 8-inch or 8 inches, 200 millimeters. Guys.
200 millimeters, yes, 200 millimeters exactly.
But that is for the 50, or that is for the 75 centimeters.
50. Yeah, 50. You can probably put 75 on these. Yeah, no issues, because they're stretched, so the contact patch is actually larger. The 8-inch tires, I felt the Kendas, which are the ones that we're trying to use. They've had some issues in China because they changed their environmental regulations towards tire makers, and there was a big shortage, and it's been complicated to get the Kendas. But anyway, it seems that it's over now, and we'll be able to get some. But the Kendas is my favorite tire. It's the longest lasting one, and it's the one I've almost never had any punctures with them. So they're just reliable. I don't think about them, and that's great. So, and they fit great on this. And the thing with the Kendas is that after a while, on the normal, they kind of get flat, and that's how I preferred them. When they started to wear off and they started to get flat. So by using this, you kind of accelerate that flattening because it's wider, and the surface, the contact patch is much larger. So you use a lot more of the thread, and the tire is flatter. So it's a less kind of a bouncy ride. So it makes them nice. Yeah. and they look like it.
This
This is it's Grega, so it's our European distributor. He has a friend that makes aftermarket rims for Japanese JDM cars, and he was like, "Oh, I can make rims for you." I was like, "Fuck yeah, man!" So, and he like, I mean, this is from a Lancia Delta Integrale S4 from the 1980s.
Yeah, the Lancia Integrale. Yeah, that was a
Lancia Integrale. Exactly.
That was the world best machine.
Group B in the Group B rally. That's why it's called the Group B rim. Yeah, because of the Group B rally rims from the 1980s. Yeah.
We are talking about that. That you talk about a guy who's working with you. I listened that Jan is working with you, a French guy who has a company.
Yes. It's been some time now since we have, but he made Jan is from a company. What's that?
He makes these parts for the motors, to all the motors.
The motor mounts, exactly. He designed our first motor mounts. Yeah, I remember when we started, it was a big contract because I gave him a contract for like $1,200, and it was like to be paid. I think we paid him with royalties for that first, and it was huge, man. I mean, we hadn't sold anything, and making a $1,200 USD contract with someone I've never met to make a motor mount on a board I haven't sold, it was like, should I invest in Bitcoins instead?
Yeah, because
I didn't.
Cedric gave me the contact from him, and was in Electro,
yes.
and he was here in talk with me, and he talked about you. I say I work with together. Let's
he
leave
makes mountain boards, huh, Nelson? He makes what's the name of his company again? Auverillon. Auverillon. There you go. Auverillon.
And he makes these batteries
with the chains. With the chains.
Yes, with the chains. Yes,
yeah. He was one of the first ones to use the chains.
Now you're going to talk about the other thing, because you have first of all, I don't want to stay. If you have a prototype, can you use these wheels? If you have your prototypes, because there is lots of guys who have the
yes. Let me think. Let me think. No, yes, you will. But the issue with the prototypo was that the motor mounts were never on the same place on the hanger, because the M8 hole on which we screw the motor mount on the hanger wasn't precisely made, so there was always a little variation. So on some versions it will fit, and so on some versions it won't fit. But on if you bought like after, I would say your board after, I would say like December of 2018 or like early 2019. Anyway, it should fit if I remember correctly, but. Yes.
And then the question the guys asked me, then we're going to talk about your new charger, the Ultra charger. What is different from, can we use this in a Lacroix, the normal Lacroix? Like you just can
no.
Yeah, okay.
No, that is for the SuperSport only. That's probably what we should. 18S batteries. I think we should just write for SuperSports. Actually, let me take a note. That's not very clear.
Yeah, because
because it's not the same voltage. So you're probably not gonna blow the board. You're gonna blow the charger.
Yeah.
So it won't work. And 12. Yeah, it's and that, because of the higher voltage, that is 12 amp is the biggest we can go, or else it'll blow your whole fuse box at home. So we didn't go bigger than that.
That's why I asked for the guys who are there, who has a Lacroix like me, or like, because the big problem.
No, if you don't have a SuperSport, don't buy those. Yeah, they won't work.
I tell this because it's always happening that the guys don't read most of the things.
Well, sometimes they read and it's not clear. Like that is not clear for me. That is our mistake, So we're gonna fix that. Yeah.
Okay. Then we go to another thing. We're going to talk about this smart BMS adapter.
Yes.
How that works in all of them. Just work in which one?
It won't work in prototipos. It will work in JAWS, Nazare, and Lone Star that don't have a smart BMS. And the advantage is basically to be able to monitor your battery. Like it's really just an information. It won't balance your battery better. It won't. I mean, it gives you more options in case there's an issue with your battery pack, but you won't. Besides wanting to geek out and having more information available on your battery, there's no if your board has always been working, but it's also good to diagnose. I mean, I guess in some cases, if you want to know how your battery is going, maybe it's maybe one P pack is starting to drift and you're not aware of it. Maybe you could be aware of it. I guess I don't know, but yeah, usually no.
Stromcore, this one, can we use just in the new one board, or you can use it in old versions?
Damn, Nelson, you're asking me good questions. I would have to talk to the guys.
Then you can answer.
And nobody's here. Nobody. No,
no, not a problem.
I'm alone right now.
Later,
I'll give you. Yeah. Yeah, let me check. Let me just. I know there was a problem with the wires at one point, but I think that's been solution. Let me just check and I'll answer you. All right. I'll send you the information after. Let me check.
No problem.
So yeah.
Yeah, I put it. And we're going to talk about this one. This one,
yeah.
The protections for the belts. Do you going to make Do you going to make to put like not a protection, but to put when you go off road and is everything you're going to put protections that to the board not be what's the name of when you put in your wheels. This is a protection for the belts, and I am talking about
oh yeah, you mean a fender for the wheels?
Yes.
Okay, so this is for light off-road use. So if you're going often in gravel, or like gravel paths, this is good to have. If you're doing some serious off-road, I would probably suggest you go with a gear drive.
Okay.
That makes it bomb-proof, like no more issues.
That's why I'm going to come to the point that what I want to come is Falcon.
That's it. Falcon.
Everybody is waiting. Tell us a little more about this. Can you change the pulleys? Can you not change the pulleys? Give just one. Yeah. What is going to be the what you going to have as because like the
ratio.
Yes, because the belts has 72.
We could change the pulleys on the belt, and you can change ratios. Yes. So the Falcon. So here are the steps that we took. The first is we started building the SuperSport, and the SuperSport I didn't know how it would react at higher voltages and how it would feel. And when I started testing it I tested all the pulleys, 16, 17, and on 16T, it's
too much.
It's ridiculous. Yeah, it's too much. It's like it's not even enjoyable because it just like it makes the board so jumpy kind of thing. It's like so much power that you really need to brace. Yeah. So the sweet spot. Because 18T on the SuperSport is more torque than a 16T on a 12S. Okay. So you already feel that, but it never quits. It's really like it's like the gear ratio. It's with that KV, with the lower KV of the motors and the higher voltage to go quicker, it's like you really don't feel the difference in anymore as much as on 12S at a higher KV. So that's why we only sell the SuperSport with the 18T pulley, which is basically like now it's the perfect ratio actually, and if you want to go mellower because it's super extreme, then it's the mode on the remote that actually make it mellower. Whereas before, I never changed modes. I would change like boards with different pulleys, whether I wanted the experience, but I would always use like the three, the full mode on the Hoyt. Whereas on the SuperSport, you can actually use the different modes. I'll go into two modes on the Hoyt when I want to carve to get kind of a mellower. So I'm actually using more and the board always stays the same. So that's where the idea kind of matured of doing a gear drive. It was like, oh, finally, because for the longest time we didn't want to make one because the gear ratio. I like changing pulleys. And now it's just like, oh, there's really no point in changing pulleys anymore. It's like having a gearbox on a Tesla. It's not, and that's how much power it has. The lower kV motors, for people who have been on Trampa, they know this for a long time. You lower kV, you get more torque kind of thing when you're feeling it, but you have less top speed. But with the higher voltage, then we go gain that top speed again. So you're just having more torque, but also that top speed. That's why this board is really good for off-road. The 12S board, if you wanted to go off-road, first of all, you needed to put the 16T pulley for sure. And even then, if you're stalled and you're stopped, sometimes you would need to like really floor it and kind of get off the board because you're kind of in a funny situation and the board wouldn't have any more, the motors wouldn't, climb you up. Whereas on the SuperSport, you can be stopped wherever you want and the wheels will just spin and get you out of it, whatever happens kind of thing. So that's the evolution, like lower kV and then one gearing only. And then it's like, oh, of course we should make a gear drive now. So that's how we got to there. So that's why the gear drive, it doesn't have any different, it's very complicated to make a gear drive that would have different ratios. And for us, so the gear drive is the equivalent of the 18T pulley.
Okay.
So if you buy the gear drive, it's like putting, so that we don't have the 17T, we don't have, and if you're used to riding 19 and 20 and going quicker, well, but it's a different feel. I didn't think it would feel so different. It's probably why it took so much time for us to get to it as well. I thought it was just like, it'll feel the same thing as a belt, but it really doesn't. It's very bizarre. When it's well adjusted, it coasts. And it's like, oh, I kind of forget, it feels like the board used to like kind of being like on a first gear on a car, when you let off the pedal, the board kind of wants to slow you down, but with that gear drive, it's like it coasts way much more easier, which I had not foreseen. I guess people were screaming that at me. Yeah, it goes better. And I was like, nah, I don't think so. I don't, but they were right. So,
but you when you try it, my friend, the first time, the gear drive,
oh.
what was the sensation as braking? Because braking is like not
braking is really everything it feels more tight, more direct. It's like having like a short throw clutch on a race car versus like a sluggish kind of everything. Just like the throttle once it's like instant. I don't know. It's very weird. I didn't think it would make such a difference, to be honest, but it really does. Yeah, it's and Pedro. It's all Pedro, right? Pedro Paganini de Mio, and he's so genius, man. That guy, that design is like I was doing a bunch of things, so he really like leaded that project, and we did a first iteration, and then he's a very good designer as well as an engineer because it looks really good, right, for lightweight and whatnot. And when I tried it, so you can adjust the motor with like an elliptical ring so that you get the perfect teeth adjustment. So it's easy, when we ship it will be good. But if ever you want to play with that, it's relatively easy. You have 3 screws that you undo and then you kind of ship the motor. And then, so it's a very nice, very, very, very nice little piece of machinery. Alex, I'm very impressed with it. Yeah.
And now I see that your motors is now before in Lone Star was a 190 kVs, and now you have the 100, you have the 130.
30.
And what is the difference from one to the other one?
Yeah, so Yeah, that's what I was mentioning earlier. They're usually motors that are used on mountain boards because they're more torquey. But by doing that, you usually compromise on top speed. So that's why they weren't used by, the
And
DIYers until higher voltage.
yeah, but Alex, and when one crazy guy now decided to put the 119 in the what can happen in the super sport?
Oh, if you put the 130 kVs in the super, you mean
They,
if you put the 130 kVs on the normal boards,
no,
on the
no,
12S boards, no?
no. I'm asking if you put the 190 in a super sport.
Oh, oh, if you put one, you'll go 100 kilometers an hour, 60 miles an hour, 70 miles. I mean, you will have absolute crazy top speed, but less torque. It'll take more time to go there, but it'll keep spinning at like. I don't think you should do that. Nobody should do that.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I ask this because there is lots of guys there and guys who want to test it to the
There's
end.
no point in that. You could achieve the same thing by just getting on a lower gear ratio on 12S. If you want to go 100 miles an hour, it's all gear ratios, right? It's all, so you won't accelerate, but any 12S boards can go to 60 miles an hour. It's just a question of gearing it. But if you want something that's enjoyable and kind of versatile, 1.4 is what you should shoot for. But you have mountain boards that are 1.5, 1.6 gear ratio, and you have very quick boards that are very low and they start slow, but when they then they go to 100 kilometers an hour.
Then I want to say to everybody, that's why I'm going to show some small things, but that is the small things that I think Alex is always listening to everybody.
Yeah.
First of all,
Yep.
is this aluminium lights? Before that was plastic.
Yeah.
Today we have in aluminium. That is
Yeah, we're
that.
done with the plastic. Yeah.
Yes. But that means you listen to the guys, everybody who talk with you, and
I'm the first one. I'm the first. So before we even when we were getting out the plastic, then I was already getting some made in nylon. Then we shipped some nylon mounts, and then the nylon broke again, and I was like, all right, we're done. We're doing it. I ride the boards as well. I ride them really hard, like because
you have another.
If it breaks for you guys, I mean, yeah, I probably broke it 12 times already, and it's like, yeah, it's on my list for sure.
And you changed it. This one before was plastic, and today you have it like this.
We ship them all in aluminum now. Yeah.
I just want to show to everybody that you see that this company take cares of you. Then we come to the special thing, and that is
the Storm Core.
Yes,
yeah,
my friend. You have the 100 and the 60. What is going to come in all super sport? The 100?
100. Yes, the 100 is the one coming in all of the super sports. 100 is the only ESC that will accommodate 18S. I don't know of any other ESCs that will work on 18S. And the 100S, yeah, that one is still a prototype. We have not sold. It's not ready. So, but it's there. That's what it will look like.
This one was I see. I think this one was like in this speedboard testing, something like that.
Yeah. Well, we sent a few of them to test. Yeah. Which I think they didn't understand quite well, because they sent a post on Facebook that it was like, yes, that was that's why we sent them to you to test. And then you take a plunge, and then you write a big message to everyone saying, I took a plunge, yes, on a prototype that you knew.
Till today they are not out. We are waiting everybody for this.
Yes.
And I don't know if it's going to come out.
I wish them good luck. It's very hard. I thought the idea was good, but it's very hard too. It's very hard. It's a hard business. Don't if you want to make money, don't sell electric skateboards.
Okay, that's why. The other question, what I have for you from this, the Strom Core.
Yes.
This Strom Core is very. What is the difference that you give to the people who want the DIY, the guys who mountain? That what is the difference from one and the other one, the 60s and the 100?
Yeah, it's really just a question of voltage. So it's the number of S packs in your battery. So the 60 will only go to 12S. If you're building a 14S, 15S boards, don't go with this 60. And the 100 will go to 18S. So anything between 12 and 18S, use the 100D. And there's always, maximum voltage, maximum amps. You need to be kind of smart and go with the motors and the batteries and whatnot. But yeah, they've worked great with us. We use close to 75, I think, motor amps. They're robust. Yeah, Jeffrey is a genius.
Yeah, is a very good. And my friend, are you thinking to make a bigger box, or that is for you is perfect?
This is it. Yeah, that's it. No, if we we're working on we're going to be working on the 100S for a special project.
Okay, that's
Fuck. I couldn't hide it. I can't hide it. I'm so bad.
Say something for us. Don't leave us like this. You are a bad person. You make like hey guys, there is ice chocolate, but we cannot eat now. Maybe later.
No,
The
exactly.
key is there, but I don't know where.
But so let me tell you just some very general things, okay? So you understand. The first thing is that the platforms of the boards right now, the products I intend on for the current platform, so the Nazare, the Lone Star, the Jaws, and the SuperSport board, they all use the same deck, and now they're all going to use the same enclosure. And that, I think, is the biggest board we're going to make lengthwise, okay? The next board, I would like to have a more nimble, and that's why when people say a prototypo, I think more nimble, more in the sense of like just a short board, because if you put some very soft bushings on the Nazare or the Lone Star, it becomes very nimble. But what I mean by nimble is like just a shorter board with less battery and nimble to transport. The Lone Star, for anyone who's tried to haul it, is it's really made to be on the street. It's not made to carry around. It's kind of a pain in the ass to carry around. We tried to make it as light as possible, but we want to go fast and we want to go far. So at one point it's like, yeah, it weighs 50 pounds. It's kind of cumbersome, but I'm trying not to make, I don't think it will be any bigger than that. The 144 cells for me is like, that's the end of it. And then batteries will improve and cells will improve, and that's how we'll get more range. But in terms of like what I'm comfortable building and standing on, I think that's a good size. But so the next models will go in a smaller size. Okay, so those are kind of my general. And in between, well, you've seen some experiments. The 4x4 board that we've made recently that went in the snow. So we're going to keep experimenting with that and getting out products like that. That is always based on this same platform. All right, or the next platform, which is the smaller one, which will be a cheaper board. Okay, less expensive board. But then there's I'm interested in a whole other range of sports, like e-surfs and e-foils, and that's where the 100S is going to be developed.
Because my friend, I know that you and your brother, before you make kite, what's the name? Kite diving?
Kite surfing.
Kite surfing. Yes. And that is going to be a good thing for you too. But and because now it's coming bigger. It's coming bigger and bigger. Yes. That is a fantastic idea.
And we are able to work on different projects now. So we're going to approach it the same way, very small and kind of, being clever, making something that has not been made in the market. That's there needs to be a need, and right now I think they're very expensive. The e-foils, you buy an e-foil, it's like
very expensive.
2018. It's like, what the hell, man? So I'm working with an engineer that he's very cool. His name is Tom. He's from he's right near here, and he's made 5 e-foils DIY. He's at his 5th version, and before that, so he's a mechanical engineer that does construction during the day, and this is his hobby. And he's made kayaks, carbon fiber kayaks that went to the Olympics, just as a side hobby in his garage. So this guy is very, very good. He's and he wants to So I'm working with Tom right now, and this summer we're going to be testing prototypes of e-foils and e-serves. So I'll keep you posted on that. It's still very early, but that's basically it. You got it out of me. That's what the 100S. So it's a different, but right now we've developed some technologies that could be used elsewhere. Yeah.
But the big question I have for you, I know that you are a creator. You create all the time. Everything you put out is very special. And my friend, what is with e-bikes? Is something that you maybe
e-bikes? No. Do
you know what I mean?
But yes, I know absolutely
not
what
the
you
normal
mean.
e-bikes. It's like this. Yes. Because now is lots of crazy guys in the USA, and for you, okay, because you are your big market is USA always.
I'm going to talk too much now, Nelson. I'm going to talk too much. Fuck.
Why not? I think it's a good market for you. Why not, man? Alex, I'm telling from my heart, I think you are a person, when you put something out, is going to be good. And the market now is very high.
I try. Yes. It's going to... Nelson. All right.
For everybody there, I'm going to try my best. Huh?
I'm sober. Thank God we're not doing this at night. I'm not with 2 beers, because I was like, hey.
But if you come to visit me, we're not going to talk about that. We're going to just enjoy, my friend.
Don't worry. No microphone. No microphone.
No. Okay. We do this, and respect is always very important.
I'm very, very interested in the bike market, because my passion is one of my passions is mountain biking, for sure. That's how I got into like the whole sports, extreme adventure sports. I started by biking and skiing. Those are the 2 pillars. And then that's how electric skateboarding came, because I can't always do those things, and I wanted to have the same sensations. But in my core, like, biking is very, very close to me. So I've actually been working on something, and but it's something that's never been seen. So it's not an electric bike. Yeah, it's big. I think it's
I'm going to tell you something. For me, today I buy for my wife SuperSport 73. If you have something good like this in the market,
73.
I'm going to buy from you, my friend. I know lots of person, because they trust you.
Let me explain. I'm not going to compete with electric bike companies. Okay, because they are, all the drivetrains and the batteries are made by Bosch, German, huge. I would need like $200 million to go into that market and like be the next, license the next battery and the next motors for Specialized. And I'm sure but I'm not passionate about that. It's not But what I want to do is, it's something that is destined for bikes. But so for me, the gap in the market is here, Nelson. Okay, I will just tell you where the gap is. I'm not going to tell you the solution. I'm going to tell you where I think the gap is, and I need to go to the next question, because it's too early, Nelson. I can't talk about it. Okay,
you are a lawyer, my friend. You know that works. One question starts here, and
right now I am on such thin ice, because I am dropping patents all over the world for it, and it's like it's not done. So I need to be very, very careful. But I'm so excited about this idea that if you were just you and me, I would be.
Just enjoy it.
I know. I am enjoying this. So let me tell you where the gap in the market is. The gap in the market. The gap in the market is for people like me who don't want to buy an electric bike. And by electric bike, I don't mean city. I mean a mountain bike. So I ride an Evil Reckoning V3 like this year. Like it's an amazing downhill bike that is so light and full made of carbon fiber that you can actually go up and cross country ski and cross country bike. Sorry. And I love that bike. And I don't want an electric bike. I don't want to add 20 pounds or 15 pounds of batteries and a motor. And I jump like 30-foot cliffs and gaps. And I don't want everything to break. And like I like an analog bike. But what I don't like is when I go to some places where there are trails, I don't like to pedal to the top of the mountain. So I want to use my analog bike, but I want something somehow to haul my ass up there with my bike. So that is the gap in the market for me right now, unless, and that is what I'm working on, and that is what I'm very excited about.
For everybody's there, if you understand it, I think it give you the keys, and then you just have to make the puzzle all together. Then it's going to be easy. But I'm going to leave Alex. I'm going to
I just received the prototypes. I just received the prototypes like 10 days ago. And now we're going through another iteration, and I'm going to go test it this summer. And then next, I need a few months. I need a few months, and then you'll know. But I mean, I'm very excited about this. I'm going as fast as I possibly can. Never been so fast. So
take your time.
You will be the first to know. You will be the first.
Do for us the important thing. Take your time and do something perfect, like you always do. I want to ask some question that everybody ask it. Can you show the deck for us?
Yeah, from sure. the new deck. Yeah, the new design, right? Yeah. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Give me a second. Okay. Oh, I'm going to do something that people have never seen, Nelson. Look at this. So, okay.
I'm happy.
So you see that this is how we receive the boards. All right. Okay. They're like this. And when I say that there's a top sheet, and this is a very, very satisfying thing to do. It's so fun. Well, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to show you what it's like. So there's a peel of plastic. That's very... And then that's how... But we need to put some grip tape on it. Yeah, it's very... Oh, it's so nice, man. Like this carbon fiber in the sun.
How do you came to these colors?
I worked with my board company, and we did a few tests. So these are all the Lacroix colors, right? Yeah, and then we tried the blue here, but like the red on red, and in the sun, it all pops out. So this is an experience that, you know what? Maybe the thing is, Nelson, if you receive the board like this and you have the satisfaction, because this is very satisfying to do, you know, it's like it's one of the most fun things. I'm gonna finish it, all right? Just because it's so fun. There you go. Give me a second. There you go. Perfect now. So
that is the same company.
I would like.
That is the same company who do it like before from Montreal.
Yeah. Same deck, same mold, same company.
So what's the name of the company, my friend? For everybody to know, I think this is a skate.
It's called Zenit. Zenit, Z-E-N-I-T. Zenit. They've made a lot of different skateboards. Very nice. Go check them out. So Zenit makes this board for us, and they. So I would like every rider to have this experience, but they would need to place their own grip tape. and placing the grip tape is difficult. It takes, the guys here, it takes about like 20 boards to kind of get it right and get it centered. So then I would go maybe on Facebook, and I'm kind of very anal retentive about these. And if I saw some grip tapes that weren't like nice, then I would go like, ah. Yeah. So that's why we put them here.
And the back?
Yeah. The back is the same thing. There's another one here. There's another. There's another plastic.
Okay.
So this is because there's a very thin layer of plastic. So this is finished like a snowboard. So this layer of plastic there's still a layer of plastic here, and that's why it's so like kind of waterproof and very good now.
But what you changed from one deck to another deck? What was the
just
change?
The design.
The form is different.
No, the form is identical.
It's identical, yeah. But because I was thinking that the form was like when you see in the website, you see like curve. Is identical?
Same deck as you have. It's identical deck. It's just a different camera angle.
Okay.
Yeah, so it looks like it has more. No, there's not more. We've had no complaints about the deck. And I think we've put a lot of work into it. So that allows us to work on other things. If I don't need to work on the deck anymore, it means I could keep expanding and keep expanding
and Alex, who is the person who create? Who is the person who create the design for the
design?
The design for the
so
decks?
His name is His name is Alexandre Saint-Jalm, and he was the creative director for a bike company that has their bike on the Tour de France. Okay. So, and he left. So he was in this bike company, and which is named Argon 18, Argon 18, and he did all the designs for Argon 18, and I knew him through a friend, and I was like, well, I knew he was, designers, they're always designing in their head. I was like, and that he did the first design of the Nazare Lone Star and Jaws. And I told him, I want a very screaming design for that one, for not the new one, but the old one, with the blue and the red at one end, and kind of, I want to be able to recognize the board from very far away and kind of make it, and so he made that design, and I knew it wouldn't be unanimous. I knew some people wouldn't like it, but that's what I liked about it, is that it's like, oh, you either like it or you hate it, kind of thing, and that's what I liked about it. And this new design, it was more like, okay, now, we screamed a lot in the past design. For this design, the objective was to make like something kind of understated, and because the board would speak for itself. Now it's like, this thing is a rocket, complete rocket. So, and now people recognize the blue base plates and like the red base plates, and that whole thing. It's like, okay, that is a Lacroix. It's not people know now in the, well, not people, but, in our very small community. So this idea was to make like more of a streamlined design, so it's more simple.
And you have on the front, you have the name of the Montreal, made in Montreal. Is that right?
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about these car badges.
Yeah, when you talk about this, that was the next one question, because you put it like this. Everybody's asking for this. It's going to come in all Lacroix SuperSports, the small one and the big one. Yes.
Yes. Let me show you. So I'm not sure if we're going to put them on the board or if we're just going to put them on, there. So we got this made by the company that makes the insignias for Audis. So this is literally a company that makes these for cars. So they're very, very high quality, very nicely made. And I like them.
When you put it on the board, it's going to be easy to take it again out. What type of?
No.
That's why I asked.
No. It's like a car. If you take it off, well, you're going to be able to take it off, but you're going to need to change the because this will become ruined. A bit will stick on the board, a bit will stick on this, and then you take some alcohol or lighter fluid, and you just take the gum off.
Do you going to sell it that separated too, for somebody who wants to put more than one? Because I know there is guys who want to put it more than one.
We give two.
Okay.
And this is just for people who bought those boards. You can't. No, this is really. It shouldn't exist, Nelson. High voltage board.
It's just a question because I know that the guys. I see the questions from the guys there, and I try to bring it for you to answer. That the other thing. Sure. The case is bigger or it's smaller.
No. So the reason why we changed to that case, which we've been using for a few months now, this is the new case, which has less. So we use the same case on all the boards now. All the enclosures on all the boards is identical. It only has 3 slits. And that is to fit. That was to fit that battery. That 144. So that enclosure has been made specifically to fit the 18S Lone Star, and then it fits, of course, the regular Lone Star because there are less cells, but they're not in the same way, and it's very complicated to make a 12S 12P. It's actually not possible to make a 12S 12P because of the orientation of the batteries and whatnot. But in 18S configuration, we were able to make it fit in that. So that's why there's 144 cells in that board.
That's why you have today 3 types of cases: the 12S 10P, the 18.
No, it's the same case. We put the 12S 10P in that case. So 18S 8P and 12S 10P use the same enclosure. So all the Lone Stars use the same enclosure, and both Nazares and the Jaws use the same enclosure. So we only have 2 enclosures now. Yeah.
Okay, and how many centimeters, or I don't know, inch by you guys from the gear drive to the bottom is going to be how many centimeters?
Let me go measure. Give me a second. I've never measured that, but it's a good question. Give me a second if I can find it.
Do you think you're going to make some protections for the gear drive? Maybe later.
We might if it's necessary. So
because
far, I've ridden it very hard. Well, you might scratch it, but it's really tough. So
everything is aluminium.
Yes.
The only thing is not aluminium is the gear.
The drive, the pulley, which is POM. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And you don't need to.
But you think somebody? Do you think you're going to someday make in the other one, like in other material?
It's not necessary. No, like we've gone with Pedro through the forces. It's all a question of forces, right? And torque, and the torque and the forces generated on an e-skate. They're far below the threshold for the POM. So when the POM breaks, it's because it's not well installed. There's no situation in which you will explode a gear drive because you're over torquing the true pulleys. That's not so. From the calculations, I just listened to the engineers. I asked them, and then it's like, no, it's like it's still overkill. So it's like, okay, perfect. Overkill is good. We do overkill, but we want to keep it as lightweight as possible. So if a steel gear is very heavy, so it would, and this thing is heavy. So we're trying to keep it as light as possible, but as strong as possible within the specs.
What is the difference of kilos from Lacroix Lone Star on the Lone Star Sport? Is any different?
Not much.
Okay.
Maybe a pound.
Okay.
It's because one has 120 cells and the other has, so the pound of 22 cells basically.
You're going to stay with
right?
the
44, yeah.
Do you going to stay with the 5 boards to sell it, or you going to later? You're going to stop with some? Okay.
No, I grow. I grow, and then it's like I add. So I'm not going to replace. I think those boards they all have their utility and they're still relevant in the market. No, I don't see us making another 12S board, to replace the Lone Star or the Nazari. I'd rather make something new, like a mountain board.
Yeah, but I was just asking if you're going to stay. The other thing, you have spent lots of money to create the hyper trucks,
hyper trucks,
hyper trucks, and do you going to stick with them, or you are trying to maybe create something different?
No, shit. Okay.
I drink a little water and I'll wait for you.
Your damn question.
I'm going to send you one for you, huh?
Oh, thank you. Yes, I will gladly drink my coffee in it. Absolutely. So there's two questions that you asked. The first is that do we have the intention to keep the Hypertrucks? Yes. We have no failures. They look awesome. They work great. Yes, we're keeping them. But
innovations.
Innovations. And
you are a young guy, my friend, and young guys, they like you, I see how you come in the market, how you want to create something new, and I know that you are a person from the prototype. You learn that you want to have your things, you want to have your boards, you want to have your everything is from your company, not from the companies, from the others. And I think evolution is always evolution. If you can listen to the guys and you see, okay, I can change a little, is perfect. But if I can change just a little, maybe it's going to be better. I see that you changed lots of things in your website, and because you listen, sometimes I see you go to internet, you lose your time with the guys, and
I always listen. It's very important. It's very important for me.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of good suggestions. I always seek negative feedback. It's great that when people tell me the board looks great, but what I like to know is and some people, it's very difficult to ask for negative feedback, because when you ask for negative feedback and people is in your face, they won't tell you the truth because they're shy and they don't want to hurt my feelings. And then if they're on Facebook, then it's the opposite. They're too far away and they don't care, and then they start bashing, and it's just like, well, maybe there's something true in there, but it's like there's so much of it that it's like I can't really. So I'm not taking it seriously, So it's different. So that's why I try to go subtly, just read what people are saying when they think I'm not watching, and then it's like, oh, that's a good idea. So I get some ideas there, but because I ride the boards, I know all of everything that's wrong with them. I know. Like I'm the first to know, and then we need to keep moving. So it's like, well, that'll be in the next version and the next version. So it's all about iterating.
And you have a background, that you started with these guys. When you started, you go there and you make the research and make the questions to the guys, and that is the important thing. That is one place, and everybody needs to go, because sometimes nobody knows about this. They just buy a board and they don't know how to take a cable out. They don't know what is inside the board.
It's true. That I think is like part of the growing pains, right? It's like, so our first clients, they knew how to do almost everything themselves in the board, and we like that, because it's like, oh, thank God they can repair it, because we can't. The business model doesn't work if people ship their boards back here when they're broken. Like none of this works. It's absolutely super important that we're able to replace from a distance. So that's why our batteries, we have almost no battery failures, because they're bomb proof. They've been very bomb proof from the beginning, so we have very, very little battery failures. When we do, we work with local people to repair them, and so the boards are not shipped back here. And then the rest, what we've always tried to do is send parts and do tutorials so that people kind of fix them themselves while not putting themselves at risk. We'll never ask anyone to make a solder or do anything with a soldering iron, but a few, if you can't turn a screwdriver, then you probably shouldn't be buying the boards, because it's not a Tesla. We can't repair it from a distance with just like a few. No, we're not there yet. So you need to, now with the Stormcore app that is going to be coming out very, very soon. It's my fault. I've just been so busy that I just didn't. But it's just a question of a few weeks. I think it'll come out at the same time as the SuperSport, the full-blown. I mean, people have been trying it in beta, and that's basically the version that's coming out, just with a few tweaks. And so with the Stormcore app, we're able to diagnose, because if you record a ride, we've got this whole back end where when you send a ride to us, we have a lot of information about the board and your battery and whatnot. And that's really the objective with all of this, is to create kind of an ecosystem where we're able to pinpoint problems very efficiently, because we don't want a local presence necessarily in every country. It's not possible. We sold in 22 countries so far, so we couldn't have a presence in each and every country. But we're trying in Europe now. It's important that we're there. Next is probably Australia. So yeah, so that's the idea, that we're trying to but there's growing pains, as you say, and now we're going to a market that are maybe they're boosted. The boosted was a very, very refined board. It's like the Apple, right? It's you couldn't even open it yourself. You needed to like pry the enclosure to get to the battery. Like, they didn't want you to go in it, which is completely different from our model. But we're still here, and we never had $60 million in venture capital. We're not going to make scooters. I can guarantee.
Yeah, but
but now, all this to say that we're getting more, into the more general public, and that by going into the more general public, then people are less. We're getting to people who don't necessarily want to work on the boards, and so there are growing pains, of course. But yes,
I just want to answer some questions here before we go. But I'm just going to answer this one. That is from Tom. Tom, yes. The first time I ride it, that was not Lacroix. The first one I ride it was from Johnny. He was together with you in an interview. John was in the car. In UK.
Okay, John. Yeah, John in the UK. Yeah, John. Yeah, like.
Did you give by Cav UK? That was the first one. The prototype from him is a very special person. I want to give lots of luck for his doctor, because I know this doctor was in a bad situation. Now he's better, and I hope that everything is fine. He's a fantastic person. But now taking to the level. First of all, guys, thank you for coming to see Alex. That is very important for you two guys to be here. We're going to answer your questions right now. First, I make the question because I like the thing flowing. Then we see if it's going to be any questions from the questions we do. I want to make another question from the guys is like this. Bushings. Do you going to stay with these bushings, or you going to bring something different in the market? What is the difference from the guys who don't know what is your bushings, what you are selling, the colors, 60A, 65A? Can you just help the guys who maybe want to buy a board? And I buy less time. I buy lots of colors, and I don't need most of them because of my weight.
Yes, exactly. I think we should put. Oh, that's another good thing. I think we're going to put that little booklet in there. Take a picture of because we ship a little booklet, an explanatory booklet that explains the different bushings, durometers on when you get a board, but it's not on the website. So I'm taking a note now just to put it there. That would be a good idea. So I weigh 181 pound, 180, let's say, and so when I want to go fast, I put I'm probably more close to 190 riding weight. Even 195 riding weight, because I wear a backpack, and usually I could put a charger in there and like water and like
It's like
fully
everybody.
geared, padded. So yeah, exactly. So I'm probably closer to 195, probably even 200 riding weight actually. Yeah. And I like to put green in the back and white in the front, which is the default kind of. That's how the board comes with, and that is good for a rider that wants to go kind of fast between 180 pounds and 200 pounds. And if you're above 200 pounds on that setup, you'll find it carvy. So if you're heavier, then you want to put gray in the back and green in the front. And if you're a little lighter, if you're around 180 pounds and you want something a bit more carvy, then you can put the blue in front and kind of the white in the back, but that would be very carvy. And that's why we came out afterwards with the red and yellow bushings, which are kind of between blue and white. The yellow one is between the blue and white and red, so that you can kind of have a carvier set. So for you, Nelson, for example, yellow and red would feel very, very carvy, and green and white would feel carvy, and gray and green would feel fast, kind of very stable.
That's what I use.
So
I use more.
You be careful, right?
I just want to say to everybody, 200 pounds, guys, in kilos is about 90 kilos, huh? That everybody can make because sometimes maybe it's difficult. We help the guys, everybody. Then you know a little more about the bushings. Then if you want more information, maybe he's going to change and he's going to put, because he sent to us the old, it always come something with the all the different bushings that you can, the sets you can prepare in your board when you buy the board. He always sent to everybody, but it's always good if you put the website. And now we're going to go to one of the that we're going to go like this. The 4 wheels is going is just for you to enjoy it, or is something you're going to make put it on the market?
Well, I didn't think people would be so interested, but you need to understand a few things about 4-wheel drive. First of all, the board becomes very heavy. You have 2 new motors, 2 new gear. Okay, so the board is very, very heavy, and it will break. It breaks great, right? Because now you have 4 motors to brake you and not 2 motors to brake you. So I would say the braking is comparable to the braking on a SuperSport board. But where the 4x4 board is interesting and was interesting, and the reason why I made it is because I was going to the Gaspésie, which is a region like 12 hours from Montreal, very in the east of Quebec, and there's always snow. There's heli skiing there and cat skiing, and that's why we made the 4x4 boards, just because I was going over there and it's like there's a lot of snow. Let's build some 4x4 boards, and that's why we built them. So in the snow on 9-inch tires, they're very, very fun. They drift everywhere, and they're kind of, because there's no traction. And if you only put big tires in the back, then you need some pull to have some traction, because then the wheel, it works much better on 4x4 in the snow. But you need to lose a lot of traction for 4x4 to become relevant. Like on anything, even off-road, like on dirt, I'm not even sure like I would use 4x4. Like I think you'd be able to get, have a great experience with the SuperSport. And the thing, because it's lighter, I want to build, the mountain board that I'm thinking of building will be light, because I want to be able to jump with it. So having a 4x4 board on a mountain board, you have all that weight, and then, I don't want really bindings. I probably won't want these half bindings, just so I can kind of run off of it, kind of be, so that's why. I mean, I think it looks great. The 4x4 board in our Instagram, because it was in snow, and those conditions for me are perfect for a 4x4 board, but they don't make sense in a lot of settings. But we're going to sell it. Maybe some people will find it more fun off-road, but I would, we'll see. But we're certainly gonna make it. The problem with the 12S is that we need to put a storm core in the front compartment. So there's no batteries in the front. There's a storm core there, and we need to rehash all the electronics. So that's why it's not really possible to make a 18S. So we make a 12S 8P
And
board with the 4x4.
Yeah, that was a question for one of the guys here. How that works with for motos in in 18 18s. Then when you use the 12s,
complete,
when you use the 12s, how many miles do you make in power? Maybe in one
no
battery.
Clue.
Just for a guy who won't, because he's going to be guys who are going to do it. You know that.
Yes, I know. When we sell it, I'm going to have all this information, but the only thing I've done with that board is just like dick around and do rodeos and like, sit on them and use them as go-karts. Oh, that was so fun. That was crazy because we could go so fast. It was like, I was like going in the streets at night and like racing and go-karting. Oh, that was like super fun.
And who is this? Yeah. Who is this beautiful girl that we don't see her face?
Laurie. We should tag her. She's not tagged. Yeah, well, I'm gonna ask Jeremy to tag her. Yeah. She's she was super fun. She was part of it. Oh yeah, she's really good. She's like a pro snowboarder. She rips for real. Yeah, she's not a poser. Yeah, that's her snowboard equipment, and she.
When she tried these 4 wheels, as you love it. What was
it's something that nobody has ever tested over there. It's in snow like that. It's like it doesn't exist here. Nobody's ever seen that over there. It's all pro skiers and pro boarders, and then you show up with that, and it's like, what the fuck? Yeah, go try it, and it's like, oh shit. So it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Talking about this, I know that you have an ambassador that is one of the best riders of the world. I think for me,
I don't think he likes being called an ambassador. He's one of our riders. Let's call him that.
Yeah. He's
ambassador is kind of a weird term.
He's one of your riders, and he's a very special person. Everybody knows him. I know him personally. I ride with him. I think you choose the perfect person. How many riders do you have today working for your company? Because I think when it's too much, it's too much.
Not. We're collaborating. We're collaborating with the writers. So the way I approach it is like, well, Moja has some very good feedback and experience, and I haven't had a lot of time to chat with him, but I'm seeing this as a long-term relationship where he's going to help us improve the boards over time and kind of give me his feedback. So the idea was to like get him comfortable with the Lone Star, because the idea, of course, when racing comes back up, is to put him on a Lone Star SuperSport, and he's going to win everything.
Because he's a winner. He's a winner.
Well, because he knows how to ride very quickly, and he's going to
see the position of his feet, how he uses it.
Yeah,
he's a guy
he's moving all the time, and he's very low. He understands how not to wobble and to go fast. So, yes, just by his position on the board, he's very good.
He's a fantastic rider. He's a fantastic person, guys. If you have the chance, go to see his channel. He's I love him. I know. I tell you guys, he's very. I'm very proud that you bring Moja to your team, because I think Moja is everybody wants him, and you. Everybody wants Moja, because Moja is.
I haven't had the opportunity to talk to him recently. It's been such a crazy past few months, man. It's like we tried connecting during a week, maybe in October or November, and then it kind of. But I owe him a call for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
If you're listening, Moja, don't.
Moja is the best, my friend. I just want to tell guys, if you have. Some questions, sometimes it's easy for you to go to the website from Lacroix Boards. I'm going to leave a link. Sometimes is lots of explanations how to do everything, and you're going to have lots of answers here, and they specified all with all the details. I know from the first video from Alex how he put his screws with the numbers and everything, special thing that is very important for all of us. Then I have another question, my friend, that I'm looking here. When I have the 12S, and I have the Fox box inside, and I want to change it, is the 100 what I have to use?
No, 60. The 100 will be useless on anything below 18S on our boards. So if you don't have a SuperSport, don't buy the 100. If you don't intend on building one, don't all the boards that we have, the Prototipo, the Jaws, the Nazare, and the Lone Star, non-SuperSport, all of those are good on the 60D. The 100D was specifically, the only board in which we put the 100D is the SuperSport boards. That is all. And you won't see a difference. It's not an upgrade. If you're putting the 100D in your regular Lone Star, it's like it's not useful. It's you won't feel a difference. You're not able to extract more. It's no. So I recommend the 60 for 12S. For sure.
And the other question what I have for you is, you have a new controller. This one, what's the name?
You mean a remote?
Remote control, no. Yes.
This one. Oh, that one. Yes, that one.
Is that official, or that is if somebody wants to buy extra?
No, that's the official one. All the boards right now ship with the Hoyt Street puck.
Because you don't use no more the other one. Okay, I never have no,
because
I have two controls because I have the Lone Star. You ship with two controls, and I never have.
We don't. So here's the story behind that, Nelson. So when I first tested the Lone Star in Utah in 2019, I killed the remote's battery before the board. So then I said, well, we need to ship it with two remotes. That's it. And then shortly thereafter, maybe the first order we did of remotes, I asked them, is it possible to put a bigger battery? Like, our board will die before the remote's batteries. And they said yes. So shortly thereafter, we changed and we put a bigger battery in the remotes. But because it was a thing and it was kind of a fun thing, we still shipped it with two remotes. Although I think the new battery I never tested it, but the new battery probably does not outlast the board, as you know what I mean. And but then the problem with the VX1 is that the quality, and they've been emailing me like all the time. But it's what I was telling you earlier. I gave them my trust, and then it wasn't good anymore. They sent a batch that was just bad, and it's like, nope, I'm cutting you out. It's like we're done. I'm not selling dangerous products if I know, and now I can't trust you anymore. So I'm sorry, we're not going to use the VX1. We're done. So and so that's where we're using the Hoyt now, which is much more expensive, and we're not increasing the price. We're including it now, but it's because the Hoyt Street, Jeff Johnson from Hoyt, he has his shit together. He knows the importance of making reliable products. And the Hoyt are reliable. And when there's a problem, he deals with them very, very well. The very few problems we've had, like almost none. So so that's why we use the Hoyt. Yep, the Hoyt.
And in the future, do you going to have new tires, or you're going to keep it always these tires?
I think we're going to. I don't. The difference between 6, 7, and 8, like I'm not
telling you about that. 8 is perfect. I try it. I try it. The 6, I tried the 7. I tried the 6.5. The 7.5. I think the 8 is the perfect one for the board what you have.
If you prefer the 6-inch tires, I feel on our old boards there are other ways to achieve like that increase in acceleration by changing the pulley, for example. So it's something I've never really dived into, because if I want to change how the board feels, I kind of change the pulleys. I don't change the tires. So the 8-inch for me is like the correct size. It's forgiving when you go at speed and you hit a pothole. It forgives it. So for me, it's a good size. But I want to explore other things. I want to take the boards in sand, loose sand, and powder snow, literally powder snow. So we're going to be moving our headquarters actually. So and we bought a huge. We're in the process of buying a huge a plot of land on which there is a mountain. So we're going to build an experience center at the same time, where we're going to be able to ride in the woods and make a bike park and a ski mountain. And so that has been keeping me.
everything is coming inclusive.
Yes, everything is coming together now.
Yeah,
Yes. So on that land, I think we're going to be testing a lot of different iterations, but always based on the hyper trucks, because they're the perfect platform to be building on. If you change the axles, you can do whatever you want. So that's kind of the plan. Yeah.
Let's see what the guys now are asking, that we don't lose. Then we can go to the end, because we are close now to 2 hours, my friend. It's not a problem.
I can't believe it. It feels like I've talked to you for 5 minutes.
No,
Convince me why I should get a Lacroix Lone Star and not the NYC XLR.
That is not for us. We don't need it. We are here to talk about Lacroix. Leave it, my friend.
Well, yeah, I can answer, but
no need it.
I can answer. All right, whatever. Your show, Nelson.
No, I don't think we just have to have fun.
The only thing I would tell you is that this: be careful. The 18S board that we are launching, the SuperSport board, I put a lot of kilometers on it, and the ESC, the 100D, has gone through many iterations before we are now ready to market.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I understand what you're trying.
A 20S ESC, maybe it works. Maybe it works. I hope it works. Because I don't think it's good for the community when anybody gets hurt.
Yeah, we have to be careful. Let's see here. From Trumper, I remember what was Alex' first Trumper built set in electro. Do you have a Trumper in the beginning?
Yeah, that was my first board. I still have it here. Yeah. 12S with Cali's parts, with Ernesto's parts. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the board that started it for me, because the Evolve that I never bought, that's what I built. A Trumpa, a Cali. Back then he was selling parts, Ernesto, for people to build their own DIY with his. So with the help of Blasto and GF, then that's how we made the first Trumpa. And Blasto was actually you want to hear a good story?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I, I'm always in 6th gear. I want everything to go fast all the time. Like, I'm very impatient. I want everything for yesterday. And so even back then it was the same. And and I was putting a lot of pressure on Charles to make I didn't know how to make a battery, and he was like, no, don't worry about it, Alex, we'll build it for you. You don't need to learn. Because I was ready to build, to buy all. Mm-hmm. I'm an autodidact, I've always done this. I learn by doing myself, and I'll learn, and I'll just do it. So I was ready to make my own battery, but Charles and GF were gracious enough to offer to make the battery. They said, oh, you'll need to buy a whole bunch of equipment, and that you'll never use again, because you're not going to start making a lot of batteries. We already have it. So it was like, okay, cool, man. Yeah, very cool. And I was putting a lot of pressure on them to I wanted to ride that summer, which was 2017. I was like, oh, I want to ride this summer. We need to make this battery. And Charles, to win some time, okay, and I learned this years after. I learned this actually quite recently. To win some time in making he said, I'm going to order some PCBs to make your battery. And he thought of ordering PCBs and making a battery with PCBs to put me off a few weeks, so that he could win some time and just shut me up for a little while. and that's how, and it's crazy, right? And he was like, yeah, we're gonna try. I'm just gonna use a PCB, but for now it's just an excuse to shut Alex up. And he's the one who put the PCB on top of the battery because of that. And now everybody's doing that in the whole industry. Everybody is using the PCB on top, and it started because, and that was the first board. If you go on the electric, I don't want it to be so drastic. Maybe some people had tried it before, but definitely after the board, if it hadn't been done before, after that board, which was the Trampa that I built with Charles and Jeff, the PCBs on the battery became very, very popular, and up to this day, now even Evolve uses a PCB on their battery. It's a very good way of making a battery.
Sorry, no, I have one thing I forget to. So there is a person here who asked something. First of all, can you show the Falcon drive?
Yeah, of course. Give me a second
for the guys to see it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it wants to see it, and that will be very nice.
Okay, give me a second. Let me get you.
We cannot listen to you, my friend.
Oh, okay, give me a second. I'm coming back.
Yeah. Guys,
you hear me?
We are with 499 guys subscribed. Put it no one person, and we're going to go to the 500 today with Alex here.
One last one. Come on, guys, we can do this. So it's awkward to show you this, but it really it's a work of art, man. Yeah, it's really, really, really nice. It's and this is the grease port. So this is where you just unscrew this and then plug grease, but you shouldn't have to work. You shouldn't have to touch it for like years. Hopefully, that's how we've designed it. So. Avi, man, Avi is like one of the guy that just came on. Avi, you need to subscribe. You'll be the 500. That will be good. You need to subscribe, Avi. We're at 499 right now. Avi needs to subscribe.
Please, guys,
and so,
subscribe. Enjoy it.
First, he came to get his board in my basement. He's one of the first one. He has a prototypo and he takes great care of it. He got the carbon fiber enclosure polished. So he you know how they were all matte on the prototypo, but his is like super shiny because he got it polished by like a car detailer. Yeah, Avi is a cool guy. Yeah. So this is the two parts of the gear drive. So we have some. So this was the prototype. Well, the prototype. The only difference between this version, which is we got a batch of these, is that there's only 2 screws to screw the red part to the black part, which is so awkward. I don't have one like not installed on a board, so that's why it's so fucking weird to show you this. Wait a second, I'm trying to hold this fucking board. Why are they so heavy? Yeah.
How many millimeters do you have? How many millimeters do you have from the?
It's very tight. Look at how tight it is. Wait a second. Let me get you an angle where you see kind of. But yeah. So between I can't put. My
I see it. We are seeing. Yeah.
It's the tightest we could put it. So it's very, very compact. And this is a 7.5. How do you call it? Inch.
Alex, do you think in the future that you're going to make a handler, something to
a handle? No, I don't think so. I have too much projects to work on a handle. It's not useful enough. It's like
you have enough.
You can buy a handle on Amazon and kind of MacGyver a handle on it. I understand if you do it. I'm not mad if you put a handle on it. I understand. But I will tell you this. It was very important for me to be able to pick up the board from the front. Because you can't do that on the current boards, the Nazare, the Lone Star, and because the motors would drag if you were too, But now with the Falcon drive, with the gear drive, and the new self adjusting motor mounts that we ship on the SuperSport boards that have springs in them and have always the good tension on the pulley. They're much shorter as well, so you can take the board from the front. So you don't need to picking up by the motors. So that actually changes the game quite a bit. It's not like it doesn't become like very easy suddenly, but it makes it easier to haul around, definitely. That the motors are on the floor and not in your hand, kind of thing.
And the other thing with the lights on the back, they come now perfectly.
Yes.
Better than before.
Yeah. Well, so there's two things. So we changed the lights. They're not triangular anymore. They're round. So we got a new model that doesn't break off. Well, from the tests I've made, they're supposed to be better quality. So that's the first thing. And the second thing is that when you buy a gear drive with a light, you will have a new light mount because the old light mount will hit the motor. So we made a new light mount that has a steeper angle so that it could go above the motor. It's the same mount. It's just angled differently so that it can pass above the motor.
Alex, but you don't have a website in the moment to sell it.
No, because
I showed it's not there.
Thank you. No. Are you looking for a job?
No, I'm not. I want to make the interview. I don't want to make the interview that everybody.
You're doing a great job. You're doing a great job.
That's the question that everybody put, and I try to bring them all. That I think that is a good opportunity.
Perfect. And I'll go through them right at the end, right before I'm gonna just go rapid fire, like answer all the questions that have not been
Alex, the important thing, you have to see your side. For me, I have all the time of the world. The important thing is you, because I know you are a busy man. And one of the questions I have to put you, and that is the important one, when you start to ship it.
So we said mid-March, and we are gearing up for mid-March. If we're off, it'll be by a few days. But yeah, we're receiving all the parts right now. We've been receiving them since we started taking the orders. So right now, if you buy a SuperSport today, shipment would be around mid to late April, so that we can fulfill all the orders that we have taken so far. But mid-March is still, and yes, definitely. I'm putting a lot of pressure. Everything is. It's important for me.
Again, I'm answering. I'm asking what the guys tell me, because that is important. Because do you know the people are crazy? They want to. I want the SuperSport. I want the SuperSport. I want the SuperSport.
Yes.
That is very important.
It's fine. It's fine. Yep.
The other thing, the Titan accent for everybody to understand.
Yes.
Can you explain for everybody for the last time maybe? What makes that so special, the Titan? Because I listen to lots of persons. I don't understand why do I have to change for one to the other one. What makes that so special?
So there's two things. First is they're lighter. They take off about 1.5 pounds off the board. They're lighter, but they're also like we've seen some issues where the thread at the end of the axle. Here.
Okay, wait a second.
Where you put the nut, the thread here. Once you do it and undo it and do it and undo it, sometimes the nut will lose a little metal shaving, and then it will screw the whole thread, and this whole thing will become useless because you need a grinder to cut it off, kind of thing. And I've only seen that on the stainless steel. It doesn't happen often, and when it happens, we change it, but it's a pain in the ass, if you're out in the field. So, but we've never, because titanium is so hard, we've never seen some screw ups with the threads, with the titanium. So weight, threads, and I'm a mountain biker, so titanium is the shit. So.
I just want to talk about this because I have a special friend. I think lots of persons know him too. That is Jens from Detox.
Yeah, of course. Yes, Jens. Yes.
Jens, he see your board and he said,
have you seen that last thing he did?
Yeah, that is great.
What
It's live.
a madman!
He,
What a madman!
he,
Wow.
he's about 100 kilometers from me, and I see the first time was not out, and he comes to me and he showed me, and he was like, Nelson,
Mad
can you?
respect.
Yeah,
You tell him if he's not going to
yeah,
listen to this. It's 2 hours
yeah,
long, but
of
it's
course, he's going to listen because he has lots of compliments he gives to you. First of all, he tells about your trucks. He said that is amazing trucks, and he
nice.
makes a big compliment,
I
and
have
he's
a
not
lot of
going.
respect for everything he does.
Yeah, yeah.
Everything. He's really,
And
really good.
then he see your gear drive, and he was saying that is the shit.
That's Pedro. I
That
just give some direction,
and
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 then
and
Pedro did it. Yes,
you have to think we are talking about 8 talks. He makes gear drives. He make one for
I
me.
know.
And,
He makes great gears. He
yeah,
makes great stuff. I tried to make a deal with him at the beginning. I don't know if he wants me to tell that.
and I
Yeah,
know
I wanted to. I wanted. Yeah,
he talks
but
about
you know, he works his own way, and I respect it, and it's fine. And it was.
the
I'm. You know, I like to dream big. So
the problem
it's
is a EP. Do you understand?
a little.
He's,
Yeah, a
he's a
little.
guy. He's a guy
That's what
who
I like about him too. That's what I like about
he's a guy who works to what he needs, and then the
him.
rest of the time he wants to have fun.
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
understand it from one
yeah,
side, but when he puts like to create something, he's a very special person. But I just talk about him because tells so good special things about you that I know you don't
yeah.
know personally. And he said, Nelson,
Oh, Tim is there. Tim is there. Sorry, I just saw that Sender Skates is there. Tim, I was talking about you earlier, buddy. Yeah, I can't wait to see you again. He just had a kid. He put a few pounds on. You're gonna need to get some weightlifting, huh, Tim? He's probably fucking screaming in his studio. You fucking asshole.
uh,
I
no,
like Tim.
we're going to see all the message from all everybody.
Sure.
If you want to see it, please
Do you
just
want me to do some quick answers for all
yeah,
the
especially
questions? All right, all right.
you just make the
Okay,
questions
let's.
what you see and you answer, my friend.
Okay, how many
You
boards
don't
did you
have
say
to
has
answer.
F1 made? No, I won't answer. Because are
Yeah,
you still planning to make a boosted form factor model? Or those yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So, question for Alex: are you still planning to make a boosted form factor model, or those plans have been dropped? Yeah, I think we talked about it. A smaller board is in the plans. Absolutely, it will be as long as the prototypo, but it won't be. It'll be a new design. I don't look back. I look forward, but it'll be shorter. It'll be shorter, like the prototypo was.
That
Yep.
is very good for
But
you.
all are,
You're going
I
to have
think
for another. You're going to have for another type of persons who cannot
exactly,
go to
exactly,
the so expensive. Then you're going to open the door for
exactly.
a lot of persons,
That's the
and I
point.
think that is fantastic for
That's
me.
yeah, yeah. We need to have like the whole setup because that will be a higher volume board, and
Yeah,
I don't want to send it to China.
yeah.
I'm going to, but having high volume boards in Canada, nobody's ever done that. So I need to approach it carefully and make sure that everything here is set up before. So right now we're focusing on the SuperSport, and then 2022, another board. Yeah. I love my Lone Star. One of the best skate this guy, people are nice. Gosh, where did I come up with the idea for rims? Oh, Matt Hoover. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Yes, Matt. Yes. Yes. You gave me the idea. Okay. What else? Yes. Can you use the Stormcore on 20? Yes. The railing set up to 84 volt. Yeah. So you can. Jeffrey would tell you that you can use the Stormcore on 20S, but we don't recommend, just so that you always have some headroom. So technically, yes, but anyways, honestly, okay. Oh, I'm happy about this question because once you ride an 18S board on 130 kV motors, you will see that it is the end of the road. You do not need there. It is completely stupid. It's like the difference between an 800 horsepower car and a 900 horsepower car.
Mhm.
It doesn't change anything. It like you won't feel it. You need to be like the best driver in the world to actually even like control the thing. So it's done. Like for me, there will never be an 18S board. You won't see an 18S board from Lacroix. 18S is, that's it. We're done. 20S is whatever. You will see. Once people start trying it, you'll all understand and say, oh, okay, yeah, there's no point in going to 20S. There's really no point. Alex, you mentioned on a post you can't make an 18. Why is that the case? So why can't, okay, that's a good question, Thomas. Alex, you mentioned on a post why you can't make an 18S for, it's not that you can't, it's that with the configuration of the enclosure right now, and because I don't want to make a new deck and I don't want to make a new enclosure, we need to use the front compartment to put a storm core. So we have 3 6S packs right now in the 18S board. 6S, 6S, 6S. We took one of those 6S boards away, so we got an 18S board, right? 18S 8P board, and that's the 4x4 board because the front compartment is empty. That's why. It's not because you can make an 18S board. It's just with our boards and with the time that we disposed of, and you can probably put the second storm cord in the back, but you know, we don't do things that isn't perfect, and like it's just an experiment, and it wasn't to go for very far distances. It is certainly possible to make a, and now I'm saying that like a 4-wheel drive 18S board, that would be the most ridiculous thing, because then you can't go fast when you don't have traction.
Okay.
The 4x4 board, as I said earlier, is relevant in the snow, only in the snow. And when there's absolutely no traction, where you go, if you're going really fast, 30 kilometers an hour, 40, and if you're sitting on it and using it as a go-kart, then you can go 60 kilometers an hour. But going to 18S would go to 80 kilometers an hour, especially on 9-inch wheels. And there is no situation where it makes sense to go 90 kilometers an hour with no traction in the snow or in the mud. So that's why like an 18S board on 4-wheel drive for me is just like, it doesn't make sense. With the 12S 8P board, on 4x4 wheels, it's not the amount, it's like going on an e-foil. It's not the distance that you're doing, it's the amount of time that you can spend on it. And we would spend like 2 hours a night in freezing cold on, you know, racing in the streets and sitting on it, and then using it as a rodeo. And you know, 12S8P was ample in terms of like, we could ride for 2 hours and play and have a lot of fun, and then we'd be completely burnt and just go inside and party. But so there's no point in, that's why. Okay, all that mess with Potter is over. Jay Boston, hey Jay, all that mess. I don't.
Good morning.
Jason is very good at like messing with himself, right? So he like self-immolated, and then. Seriously, no, but he like, yeah, and then he makes these posts on YouTube, and then, you know, Jeff answered very calmly, and then he got really excited, but then it's like, what's the point of this, and why are we like, what's, yeah, so I've never had a mess with him. He always jabbed at me, but you know, Potter is irrelevant.
Yeah, he's not good.
I don't think about him. I never talk about Foster. What about taking one series of scale to fit a storm core or mount on top of the deck? Foster, what about? Okay, sorry, those are two guys talking to each other. Will Lacroix come out with their own remote? Yes, spooky. You're so spooky. Yes, we will. Can we expect better quality motors with better bearings, etc.? Yes, you can. We have been working for a year with a company, and I've received some prototypes and I've tested them. They are very, very expensive. So they will be an add-on because we couldn't make it. But if you want better, so the way we do it right now is like we don't fuss over motors. If your motor has a problem, or if it start making, we just send you a new one, and then you know, hopefully that one has no issues and until its normal life. You know, so that's one thing. The second thing is that there are some posts on the forum where people have changed all the bearings inside and prolonged the life of the motors by another 2 years, because it's really just the bearings that are wrong. All the rest is good. The magnets don't break. They're well installed. The epoxy inside. It's this whole bearing because it's completely sealed. So sometimes the bearing, but there's ways to prolong the life. So the current motors, actually, they're good. They're not perfect. And that's why we've been working on a very high-end solution, but that's what it will remain. It will remain an option, and it's not quite right yet. We're working with a very high-end helicopter, drone and helicopter motor company to make a custom motor. So, but we will need to sell them close to $400 to $500 each for it to make sense. They cost, Nelson, they cost us 6 times.
Oh, yeah.
Six times for large quantities. So
but if
we're not going to buy
But if you have a big life, a better lifetime for the motors, that is
I
maybe.
freaking hope so at that price. I freaking hope. You better not have any problems. They're SKF all around. They're made by engineer. So from the test I've done so far, they're very, very good. Very, very good. We're very, very close to nailing it. There's just a few little things, but yeah, they will be expensive. So until then, there's no. It's such a small industry, right? So we need to do everything. There's no off-the-shelf high-end. There's just none. So so that's it. We're making it. We're making one. I don't know if it will be ready this summer. Hopefully, maybe.
I just want to say,
what's going to.
I just want to say to Jimmy, because Jimmy was the guy who take out his motor and he changed the bearings, like you tell, and his motor is working perfectly. And sometimes if you know how to do it, why not? Because you think the motor is destroyed and the motor is okay. It's just changing the bearings, and then is everything going to work again? He changed always every year.
Yeah. So the on the forum, there's really all you need is a pulley puller and the right size of bearings, and you'll be able to put them back in and change them and prolong. Yeah, for sure. That's definitely a solution. We'll offer them with okay, Charles. Oh, Charles is there too. All right. Brown. Charles, what about? Okay, I think I'm going through. I'm sorry, I'm going through the questions. Alex said you can't make any. Okay, we answered. I'm about halfway through. Writing Lacroix is great. Water. Any chance the Stormcore app will want with the SuperSport? Yes, I think we answered that. I keep him talking, or your form your KGB, Nelson. That's funny. Arch, if you sold a mid-drive ad on Gearbox, I would buy a mid-drive. I'm not sure what a mid-drive is. Arch, if you sold a mid-drive ad on a mid-drive add-on Gearbox, a mid-drive. I don't know what a mid-drive is. Okay, basically converting a non-e-bike to an e-bike. Well, not really. It's more about replacing the chairlift. Can you please show the plaque that's going on the side? Okay, I think we did that. Please tell me the SuperSport comes in nice boxes now, not just normal. No. Okay, so the boxes, yeah, that's really important. That's good. So Thomas has a lot of questions. Please tell me the SuperSport comes in nice boxes now, not just normal brown boxes. So, I'm kind of sensitive to this whole environment thing, to be honest. I always have. I've never wanted to put some popcorn, like some foam popcorn with the boards, even from the very beginning. So the boxes are made for 2 things. First of all, the board to be intact if it's dropped from a very high, from very high up to 2 meters. A Lone Star can be dropped from 2 meters and it will survive. Yeah, we've tested it numerous times. So the box is it was engineered. So that's the first thing. It needs to be. We've had one box that shipped a board 6 times.
Okay.
It was actually the board, the box, sorry, that shipped different boards, but the box was used to ship boards 6 times, and it was still good after the 6th time. So the box is very sturdy. So, and the second thing, it needs to be very easily recyclable. And when you have all these inks, and you know, the more inks that you have, and the more, so the box is very, but you know, it's, you see it once, you receive the board in it, then you throw it away, you don't think about it. So the box won't. We're not touching the boxes. Sorry if you're disappointed about that.
The box is not important, my friend.
Yeah, exactly. The box is not. Well, it's very important for certain things, but the beauty of it, like
today I was catching this a bike, and
yes.
the guy asked me, "Do you want me to leave on the box?" I said, "No, please leave it finished. I want to take the bike. The box, you can keep it." I don't
keep the box. Keep the box. The Nazare and Lone Star SuperSport are going to have the same clearance. Yeah, that has always been the goal with all the boards that we have is to be as low to the ground as possible, but just enough so that you're not scraping all the time. So yeah, they do have the same clearance. The Lone Star, whether it's SuperSport or not, is 3/8 of an inch higher than the Nazare. You don't feel it. When you know, I've ridden the boards numerous times, and how I tell it's a Lone Star is that when I go over a pothole, the Lone Star will bounce a little more between my legs because of the weight of the battery, which I actually like because it absorbs energy. But that's how I know. Oh yeah, I'm on a Lone Star, because when I go fast and I go over like it, and then it will, like, you will feel like this whole weight. It's like, oh yeah, that's pretty cool. The gear drive makes it heavier versus the belt. Yeah, gear drive is heavier than belt drive for sure. There's just more metal. Yeah, maybe it adds what, a pound and a half, maybe. Not, it's not that much, but it, you know, yeah, it makes a difference. Boosted. I think I'm close to the end. If you see anything, can you make the bushings in different duros but always white? No, that would become a nightmare.
It's crazy. You have the
color. No, not that white. The other white. No, the other white. No, that. No, we're not doing that. Please send in yes opinions on some of the things competitors like Callies are doing, like the electric Turox 20S. Yeah, Pierce. Oh, is that Pierce from Washington? I think it probably is. I like Pierce. If it's the Pierce from Washington, I had a lot of fun riding with them in Washington. Those guys are nuts too. If you have a chance, Nelson, to come to Washington, that is where the community is really, really awesome in Washington, D.C. So Pierce asks opinions on some of the things competitors like Callies are doing. Yeah, like electric trucks, 20S. The electric trucks is definitely something. Sorry, I'm tying my boots. Is certainly something we have been working on for a while. I almost got into the subject earlier, but I was able to restrain myself. But yes, it is something I am working on. But I do not want to put a stabilizer that goes on the handlebar of a motorcycle. The forces are different. It's not adapted. It's for me. It is a solution, but it's not my solution. It's not it's not the vision that I have. So the adapter that there is right now on these, like all the hydraulics that you see, they all come from steering from motorbikes somehow. Okay, that's where that technology has been developed. So it's really it's like trying to fit a round into a square. You know, it will work, but I want something more refined and sophisticated, and I see hydraulics as being the future of where I'm going on the Lone Star SuperSport. If I keep the same 911 Carrera for the next 20 years, and I keep doing the 911 Carrera, which is the Lone Star SuperSport, we're going to keep making that better and better and better. And I see hydraulics becoming much part of the package, but not taking something from a superbike and plugging it in. No, it is and that is what I'm working on. I'm working on a custom solution with engineers that know hydraulics, and we're actually having a discussion with them tomorrow morning, and they're going to show me their first stuff. So I'm very excited about it. But what I think of doing, it has never been done. So they're all swimming in uncharted waters. It's not a solution that attaches on a truck. It's completely different. It's something that does not exist. So they need to take their experience from different domains, mountain biking and car racing, and then create something new by understanding what is important, the forces that are required. So we want to lean from side to side. We also want the wheels to have a little travel. So that is what that I spoke too much. So electric trucks, yes. 20S, no. I answered that.
You are free to speak what you want, and you take the time that you want. We are
like I think we're very close to the end. I think can your gear drive handle grinds and impacts for grinding? Gear drive? Yeah. You can beat the frick out of them. Yeah, for sure. We everything we make is made for a tank. You know, we don't sell consumables. Yeah, I never build a product thinking that someone will have to replace it, because I wanted to make it indestructible, and then you can add on to it. That's the whole mindset behind the Hypertrucks. If you bought like the first version of the Hypertrucks, then what I will come up with in the next year, you will still be able to slap on it, because it's a perfect base for expansion. That's how I think. I'm not thinking of replacing and making something fragile that will break and then you have to replace it. It's not what we do. It's not what we do. Last night I had a dream I was riding my Lone Star on grass. And is that enough of them? Man, these guys are funny. Yeah. I get it. Senderized. Yeah. For anyone hesitating about getting a senderized decks, do it. Tim is, I don't know if you've seen Nelson, his recent designs. He started playing with textures, the fighter with the sword, and then like the whole sky. Tim, man, he blows my. Every time he makes a new design, it's just like, I love the one that he made with one of our decks that was blood. It was all white with like big. I love that.
In this interview with Tim, I tried to show him this design, and that was a copy. That was not the original, and it was like, that is not my work. And I say,
well, let me tell you about copies and original then. Okay, because I've been on his ass. Oh, he's gonna be mad. I'm gonna talk about this. But I've been telling him for a long time. Tim, you have been warned. I would talk about this, and I think you should do it, because I've been asking him to sign. I think he should. I think they're all works of art, and that I think he should. He has already his own signature in the quality of the product that he puts out there, and in my mind, but he's too humble, so he doesn't want to sign them because he doesn't see himself as an artist. Well, he does, but he doesn't want to sign his art. So Tim, you should sign it so that people recognize right away that it's you. Not only when they have it in their hands and when you tell them, of course, it's a sender. Look, the frit is perfect. The design was laid perfectly. You know, it's he prints it on silk. It's crazy, and then he puts epoxy on it. It's so hard to keep straight. Like, he's working like with these crazy materials that are incredibly difficult to work with. You know, so
you see it like
Tim, sign your work, find a signature. Look at that. Yeah, that is one of our that is Mike Mainer's board, I think. No, or is that the guy from that is the guy from Dubai, maybe. I can't remember his name. Duncan Darnell. That is either Duncan Darnell's board or Mike Mainer's board. They have similar designs, but either one of them both of them are amazing. Okay, the last answer, because I like you, Nelson. Yeah, I could stay here all night. Will the new rims lower the overall height of the board since the tires will be stretched? Ooh, good question, Nathan. That's like a professor. That's like a question for a university. Yes, it probably by 2 millimeters. Like, you wouldn't feel it, you wouldn't see it, but technically, I guess they will. And I think you are right, but like by a negligible margin. Yes. They can grind them down to these. Then you can grind them. I think we went through all of them. Yeah. Nelson, and now I'm late. I'm going to tell my wife it's your fault if I'm late.
Yeah, I just want you to okay, we go to the questions. Guys, first of all, we go to the questions from Lacroix. Now I want to just make some very fast questions, very fast answers from Alex the rider. you are a rider, and I want to make you some question because that is very available. What is the important thing for Alex? Speed or enjoying the board, carving, having a nice
Both,
time?
both, absolutely both. I want a board that can do it all. That has always been the case. So when I want to
Okay.
carve, I put yellow in front, red in the back, and then when I go with Tim, I put green in the back and white in the front, and I cranking up a little, and then we can go cat and mouse. But I want a board that does it all, and that I think we've done that. But it's because of Brad at Riptide. Those bushings are really he's really on top of his game. Like we nailed the bushings very early with those trucks, and we're not touching them because they work well, and we don't need to. So
okay, yeah. Then the next question, I'm going to make it fast for us to do it. What you love more, Alex, ride day or night?
Oh, it's because when I ride at night, I usually ride with people that are very good. So I would say at night. Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
What you love more, my friend, to ride alone, with small group, or with big groups?
So here's the thing. So the all the times I've started a ride with a big group, then I get impatient and I get to the front of the pack where other people like me who are impatient get to the front of the pack. And then I finish riding with this very small group of people that are very good. And so it always starts big, but then we break off because we don't charge and we don't want to wait. And like, if I catch a green light and you're not able to, well, yeah, I'm not waiting. We're not waiting. And then we're like, oh, and then it becomes smaller and smaller and smaller. And at the end, we're just a handful, 5, maybe 4, 5, 6. That's the 3, sometimes 2, if you're riding until 5 a.m.
Yes. Then we go to another one, my friend. I just want to know, what was the worst moment for you in this sport?
You know what, Nelson? I feel very fortunate that nothing comes to mind.
Okay, that is very good. And what was the one of the best moments for you in this sport?
Oh man, I've had so many. Like if it stopped tomorrow, I would be like, fuck yeah, man. Whoever is responsible for this, high five, man. Thank you for everything. Thanks for the ride. Like this has been amazing. But I would say, so this riding with friends for me is so you will read, if you read a book, read The Rise of Superman by Stephen Kotler. And this will explain what we feel when we ride the boards in a group and we push ourselves when we're in the flow state. So being in the flow state, which is when you're in the flow state, Nelson, when you're practicing adrenaline sports and when you are practicing an activity that requires 4% more skills than what you have. Okay. So when you're pushing yourself with your friend, 4% is almost nothing, right? So you're basically focusing all your energy to go as fast as you can and like carve and when we're riding in these groups. So flow state while e-skating for me is the best feeling. So that is certainly one. And then I talked about it earlier, but when I was in that helicopter in the chapter, I invited on that island, just to close that little bubble that I was talking about. So the chapter 1 video, which was 3 days, we went on that island with the helicopter. I invited client 0 from Lacroix. Ooh. So client 0 is actually the first person who bought a board. And he's become a very good friend of mine now. When we were starting the company in 2018, I was in a backcountry touring lodge in British Columbia. And I was about to launch the website next week, the week after, when I was coming back from skiing. And I spent all the week in the lodge with them. And one night we were drinking a beer, coming back from skiing. And I was talking about the fact that I was, I'm a lawyer, but now we're launching this. And he was like, what the fuck, your electric skateboard? All right, well, I want one. And I'm like, what do you mean? I don't even have pictures yet. You haven't seen anything. We don't have it. He's like, I don't give a shit. Tell me where to send the money. I want one. So you're like, You're buying one? Like, you really want to buy one? Like, they're expensive. And he's like, yeah, how much is it? And I was like, well, back then it was like 2,500 US. And I was like, it's 2,500 US. And I tried to say it with a straight face, haven't sold. And he was like, yep, nope, no problem. You tell. So and then so I was like, so that was the first sale, that was like, fuck, okay, maybe this is gonna work. And then I showed him like the first prototypes. I had the first prototypes of the prototypo, right? So we had nothing. I had just like unofficial pictures, but I guess I was very passionate about it, and I was very excited, and he got excited. So we're friends now. His name is Francis Gagnon. He's the one that you saw in the video in Utah. I invite him now. It's like the client zero privilege. Whenever I do a video, I'm like, Francis, just come. You don't have to do anything. Just nothing. Just I'll feed you and do everything. We're just gonna have fun. So we do, and he was in the. So I invited him in the helicopter video, and I went to get him. I went to get him with the pilot, and we landed, and it was like, it felt surreal. At that moment I was like, Francis, think about it, man. Like 3 years ago, you bought the first board, and today I'm coming to pick you up with a helicopter, and we're going on an island for the weekend camping with like and we're gonna ride a Lone Star on the beach. On like, what the fuck, man? Like, this is crazy. Like, it's if I would have told you we're gonna do this 2 years ago, you would have said, fuck you, man. Like, you're fucking crazy. So I feel very, very fortunate, and that was a highlight as well. The helicopter video, I feel like it was the beginning of something for sure. We got to a point where we could do that. We couldn't afford it, as I said earlier. I mean, we were just very lucky that this whole crew kind of worked, and a lot of positive energy and a lot of great people. But yeah, so helicopter and riding, flow stating. Yeah, that's where it's at for me.
Alex, we're going to the end. I'm just going to make the last questions. That is just small questions and very fast answers. My friend, I know that is not for you, but now I'm speaking with Alex, the rider. Do you try a 1 wheel?
No, I think I've tried it, but like 2 minutes. I didn't try it long enough to become comfortable on it, so it never worked. I was just like, it was like, okay, no.
Do you try the AUC, electro unicycle?
Yes, I have.
No names. Just do you
So
try
the problem with the EUC, Nelson, okay, so I'm 39 years old, and I've been skiing for 37 years.
Yeah.
Okay, so my parents put me on skis when I was 2 years old. So I'm a very good. I ski all the. So for me, when your feet are flat like this and you are carving, because that's what EUCs, they're trying to carve, your feet are staying on the same level, whereas when I'm carving on my skis, my feet are actually like this.
Okay.
So you would need, for me, for a EUC to be interesting to me as someone who carves skis all the time, the pedals would need to shift.
Oh, okay.
As you are going from side to side. So the inside pedal, when I would be carving with a UC, my vision is that it would need to come up so that I can lean further.
I understand what you're
saying. You understand this movement? So, but now the pedals are stuck. So it's very awkward. You're kind of trying to carve this wheel that's leaning against your calf, and so for me, it hasn't been made by people who carve skis. It's not ready. It's not something that interests me. I'm not going into that. I have a lot of other projects. We're not making.
I'm asking you as no. I'm just asking.
But it doesn't mean, Nelson, that I'm dunking on them. I think there's a place for it. I just think that for the sensations that I want to live, I think someone who actually went to, and you're Portuguese, Nelson, right? For someone who went to Praia do Norte at Nazare, right, and actually surfed that wave, they would be excited on our boards. But I do not think that they would be excited on an EUC. And that is really the difference. It doesn't mean that the EUC doesn't have any relevance. It just means that for adventure and adrenaline and extreme sports enthusiasts like me and people who surround me, the EUC doesn't do it yet. Maybe one day they'll get the feeling, but it's not ready. Yeah.
I just want to answer some the last question. What the guy said to you. You can send me emails, my friends. I
Okay.
like to learn with everybody. If you want to chat with me, I always prepare to answer, or if it's better for the channel. I'm open to ideas, but I'm not a guy who like to make questions like plan. I like to flow everything, and the questions come out easily. And if you have something planned that is going to be a big mistake, I started in the beginning like that with questions, everything planned, and that was like a robot. You see, we have close to 3 hours talking. That was not question. That's
the trick. But well, that's what I told you at the beginning. You're like the Joe Rogan of this, because you need to have like a general outline, general. But just be positive and let things go, and great things will happen. And I think that's your strategy, and it's very good, man. If you plan everything in advance, nothing will happen as you plan it.
I don't plan nothing. I have just the basic questions, like
just a little bit.
Yeah, I have the basic questions for electro boards like us. And my last question is for you, the rider, the guy who is the owner from the Lacroix Boards. Maybe is like the queen of the boards, and there is not so many boards. We're seeing so many companies closing the doors, and you are there on the top. And what do you like to happen to you in this year of shit? Because it's a shit here. We don't talk about negative.
You see, Nelson, I feel again very, very blessed and grateful and fortunate, because 2020 has been a great year for us. You know, the electric boards that we sell are the perfect social distancing tools. When you think about it, you're alone on your board, you can do whatever you want. So people have been, we've had a great year, and it's starting like that 2021 as well. And that's why we're moving the headquarters, and we have a lot of projects. And so no, I know it's been a shit year, because I would like to travel and come and see you, and like the whole traveling thing, like that. I can't wait for it to resume, and people wear your mask and get vaccinated, and like do whatever, do the right thing, so that we can all just commingle again. Yes, don't be stupid. But yeah, I'm not complaining about the year, for sure.
Yeah, I just want to say very important. Thank you for everybody who came here. We tried to answer all the questions from you guys.
Hopefully it was good. Hopefully we didn't blabber too much. But I had a lot of fun.
Now we have more than 500 subscribers in the channel. This channel, like I said from the beginning, this is a channel for us electro riders. That is a channel that for now we are doing Sundays girls interviews every Sunday morning. Is going to be always girls from all around the world, and 3 times in a week we're going to always have a guest here, a rider or a company who understands us, like Alex. He's a guy, he's always in his chat, always contacting all of us, responding, answering everything. Sometimes it's not easy to see a company giving an answer. There is lots of companies, what they do, they put the answer out when they don't like it. And Alex, if you go to his Lacroix group, you're going to see all the questions is there, and you don't take nothing.
We try to be very open and transparent. We have nothing to hide, to be honest. So, I'm very grateful for all the feedback that we're getting, and getting the opportunity. As you said, Nelson, a lot of companies have been under, and every product that we come out with is very successful so far. And that is not only because yes, I mean, the Lacroix is well managed. We have a great team. The team is absolutely amazing, but it's also because people like you have an interest of building this community, and all the listeners right now. So it's all a group thing, it's all a team thing, and it's not only my team here, it's us as a team, as a big worldwide team, because it's a very small sport still. We need to be careful. We need to, gang up together, because
So I just want to tell like this. I don't want to have to 60,000 subscribers, because then it's going to just be shit persons here. I just want the persons who love this sport to come here. I prefer to have 1,000 persons or 500, and persons who come here make positive things. Don't make negative and talking shit. I don't like that. This is for us. I think Alex is a very special. I love Lacroix. Everybody knows that. I don't need to. Everybody knows.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for having encouraged us. Thank you for this great discussion, and thank you for everyone being there. And hopefully, I'll see you not this summer, but maybe the next. Hopefully, the next. All right. I because I go see my distributor, which is in Slovenia, Grega, and then I come see you right after.
Yeah. And friends, we're going to go out. Thank you very much. I'm going to go out from the live. Thank you. If you have the chance, subscribe, buy a new SuperSport, enjoy it, and then put the photos for all of us.